Bruh.
And welcome. Let me do a sound check and we'll make sure that you're hearing me and we're good to go. All right, that looks good. So let me back it up and say hello to everyone here. I so appreciate you all being here. Apologize for my tardiness. I don't know how in the world I ended up 30 minutes late. I just don't know. How does it happen? But it's good to see everybody here. Okay. And Let's see. All right, so what do we got here? Looks like we got maybe something's different with YouTube. I don't know. Something going on with YouTube in the chat. It looks a little different. Okay, maybe so. All right, maybe we're seeing handles in the chat for some reason. All right, let me. Now it's frozen. Okay, come on, baby. What's going on here? All right, now I'm frozen. All right, so we had Carla Ann in here early. Welcome, Carla Ann. Good to see you. Also, Amy was here super early. Love you, Amy. Thank you. We got Adrian's in here. What's up, Adrian? Okay, Meow Meow 2503. All right. Heavy Metal Rehab. Sweet Dude Shibby. I tell you, something's weird. YouTube looks to be weird. All right. Let's see. We got Mandy Gillian 3642. White Dove. That looks like Icy Cat, maybe. All right. All right. Hold on. Make sure I'm not. My whole thing doesn't look like it's working properly. So just a minute. Let's see. All right. Everything's glitching out. What's going on this Friday? You know, what's going on? All right. Anyhow, whew. Okay, we got Keith Kellogg. Sweet Dude should be Rebecca Ann. What's up, Rebecca Ann? Okay, for her baby daddy. We got Keith Kellogg. Silenced Woman. Welcome in. Dominic, welcome in. Or Dom S, I should say. Dom S, welcome in. Carla Ann, Heavy Metal. Meow Meow. We got Mark Ellis. Lisa. Tracy Fleetwood. We got Deb 73162. What's up, Deb? Dieter's here. What's up, Dieter? Lisa. Of course, Adrian. Nobody Nothing 1717. Welcome in. Good to see you. Apologize. I'm a little thrown off by these handles. All right. Fur Baby Daddy, Dieter, Silence Woman, Adrian, Sweet Dude Shibby, Fur Baby Daddy, Dom S, Dirty Diana. What's up, Diana? I don't know why we're coming out like this. It's confusing me. All right. Nobody Nothing. We got the Prof. Okay. Thank you, Heavy Metal Rehab. Okay, what's up, Laura Dawson? What's up, Laura? Okay, Mark Ellis says hi, Lisa. What's up, Mark? All right. If I was on time, you'd think something's wrong. Apologize for that. Seriously, I should just put everything an hour behind, and I'd always be super early. Okay, Carla Ann. All right, Tracy Fleetwood. It's a new day. Welcome in. Welcome in. Okay. Good to see everybody. Okay. Dean Johnson. What's up, Dean Johnson? What's up, Court of Public Opinion? Now they are implying that it was Kathy and Rick's fault for not testifying. What a crock of shit. Hey, you know, the controlled opposition. We'll be getting there. We'll be getting there. Court of Public Opinion. Don't come in all business. First, say hello to everyone. He come in and hit the ground running. Okay. What's up, Tracy Fleetwood? Also, Old Mart says Pounding headache. Gonna listen with my eyes closed. Good to be here. Hey, get some BC powder or something with some caffeine in it, sweetheart. Okay. What's up? It's a new day. All right. Again, we've got Miss Silenced Woman in here. We've got Miss It's a New Day in here. We've got Adrian in here. We got some good YouTubers here. We got Court of Public Opinion in here. We got Jojo. Hey, Jojo, I got your email. Don't worry. Okay. Thank you for being you, Miss New Day. What's up, Jojo? Okay, Blue Moon. What's up, Blue Moon? Okay. I just can't even keep up with this chat right now. Let's see. What's up? Let's Us Nexus. Okay, also known as artist. Geez, that was the longest laundry soap buying trip I've ever had. All right. All right, guys. So I apologize. I'm a little thrown off with this chat funny business. All right. Looking good, looking good. I see everyone in here. I apologize if I don't say hello to everyone. I'm just trying to get through this. Okay. Okay, what's up? Prof running this late is a sign of a great live sports coming. Yes. Hey, Mark Ellis. Thank you, Mark Ellis. Thank you, Mark Ellis. Let's see. Jojo. Deb, in this community with all the whack jobs, I cannot say I blame him. Okay. All right. I'm telling you, even my computer's acting weird. I don't know. Please get on your computer, Adrian. Yeah. What's up, Kate U? Kate U's here. Kate U, sweet dude, Shibby, Dirty Diana, Lisa. What's up, Kate U? What's up, Adrian? Mino Dino's here. What's up, Mino Dino? What's up, Mino Dino? Okay, we got Five Green Acres. What's up? I'll check back. Got other things to do. Have guests tomorrow. Getting ready for that. Perfect. All right. I'm trying to get through this. Apologize, man. I'm all blitzed right now with the difference in this shit. It gold. This shit. It gold, man. That'd be a gun. I should send you super chats for waiting. I know you were the entertainment for the first 30 minutes. Okay. All right, y'all. So we're getting there. Let's see who else we had coming in. Granny D. What up, Granny D? Hi, Prof in chat. All right. I said, that's supposed to say I can't even type to put your big girl pants on. We're about to have some real talk. Okay. New Day became a member for the 10th month. Thank you so much, New Day. Okay. Okay. Got my granny panties all the way up. Good for you. Good for you. Okay. We got to wear pants, except for Shibby. All right. K Miri, what's up? Now, why does hold on. You guys see this? Are you guys seeing this? Why is K Miri coming out just perfect? Like, what in the world's going on? All right. Yeah, I'm a little extra confused now because K Miri, she's displaying just normally. I don't know. What's up, Sunflower Soul? Oh, where is it? Oh man, this is bothering me to an extent. Okay. All right. Let's us Nexus. We got Sunflower Soul. We got QT. Is that Miss Pie Crust? I don't know. I don't know who's who. Okay. I think I'm getting through everybody though. Everyone, Gretchen Allen's here. What's up, Gretchen? Okay. What's up, Aaron? Just got done with the 13-hour shift. Roar. Okay, just a minute. Cruising the interwebs, reading about connections. Nicole Watt, Sweet Southern. What's up, Nicole Watt? Boom, you made it. Okay. I don't understand all the handles here. Let's see. It's a New Day says Friday Night Chocolate Fun. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Uh oh man. Attention, your screen name. Pay attention. Trash Magics, welcome. Welcome. Okay. Welcome in. Okay, let's see. We got Court of Public Opinion has been putting in work fighting the good fight, as always. Okay. Granny D. Hey, Amy G3060. Amy G3060. We're going by handles tonight. It's a little hard. Goose is Gammy. Hello to you. All right. Goose is Gammy. Okay. Mark Ellis with the $200 super chat. What's up, Mark? Oh, my thing keeps. Mark, hey, Mark, I wanted to stop and show you something, Mark. Let's see if I can get my chat to display for me here. Hey, Mark, remember you suggested I get myself a coffee mug. Check it out, Mark. Oh yeah, Mark, it's all you, buddy. It's all you. Thank you, Mark. Awesome. Everybody, I was trying to get a prof coffee mug with the prof. All right, now, what's up, Jake Brooks? Jake Brooks. Jake Brooks. Okay. Prof, I'm on Alex's live too, and no handle names on his chat. Really? I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I didn't do this intentionally. Okay, so let's see what else we got. Don't say dumb stuff is Trial Junkie. What's up, Trial Junkie? All right. Yeah, sorry, I don't know what the hell's going on. Maybe I could shut it all down and come back in, but it wouldn't be worth it. So we'll have to deal with handles tonight, right? Okay. Trash magics. All right. Prof, I make this shit up. What you talking about? Sweet dude Shibby is bragging. Okay. All right. So let me see if I can see where we are. All right. ACB 5360. ACB, what's up? Are we going to talk about this Roblox video? I will. Not tonight, though. I'll tell you. The most interesting thing about that, you wouldn't know. So maybe we'll talk about it later, ACB. But thanks for bringing that up. Oh, you said Prof can't make this shit up. Yeah, you can't make this up. And the funniest thing, why in my chat? Why in my chat? Okay. All right. So, what's up? I don't have all day. Okay. All right, y'all. So, I don't know. Just a minute. All right. So, now, pretty mystified as to what's going on with that. Hey, Adrian, could you maybe like do a search and figure out what's going on with these handles showing while we get started? But so, guys, welcome to the Friday night show. Tonight's show is called the Prof Friday Night Fights Round 9. Now, I must be honest with you. I thought that perhaps we would not make it to round 9. Okay, I originally intended for 13 rounds for this series of Real Talk. And I was hoping that we would not have another one. You might remember last week, I missed the show on Friday. And I thought, hey, maybe we won't do one on Friday. But, or maybe we won't do another round of Friday Night Fights. But no, we have to. And honestly, I'm not feeling much better. I'm feeling a little better, but I'm not feeling much better. And so that's how I am. And it's going to take me a moment. I'm going to have to dip out for 5 minutes and come back. And then I'll be ready to start our show. But yeah, tonight. Okay, tonight. So we'll hit the reset. Let's see. Why is it, Prof, that why is it that you thought it would be the last Friday Night Fights last week or week before when it was round 8? Well, because I was hoping that everyone would keep their mouth shut. In other words, stop the BS, stop the craziness, stop all the bullshit you're doing, And can everyone just understand that there were things that happened that shouldn't have happened? And even though you're not man enough to come clean and tell the truth about it all, maybe you can just stop your shit. That's what I was optimistic about. Uh, that hopefully that was done and maybe we could move forward. But no. Uh, in the 2 weeks since the last one, um, and especially in the past week, uh, Troll Farm 1 and Troll Farm 2 have seriously escalated the rhetoric again. And so we will be forced again tonight to talk about the things that they're demanding that we continue to talk about. And so turns out that's what's going on. And it's a tough one. Okay. So um yeah. Now let's see. Just a minute. Okay, just a minute here. And so yeah, we have to do that. So give me a minute. Give me a minute so I can feel a little better. And let me see if I can fix this audio. Let me check this out. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. What the hell, man? Tonight is going to be, you can tell. You can tell tonight is going to be a difficult one. Okay. So thank you, Shibby, for providing the entertainment. Let me see if I can go and find that. There we go. Yeah, tonight's going to be a difficult one because I'm telling you, there's all the technical difficulties already just don't make sense to me. But I'm ready to go. Okay. I'm ready to go. So we're going to go and we'll figure this out. But thanks everyone for being here. Um, I will get my bearings here, and then we'll get started. Okay. Audio is good. Yeah, my screen is freezing. It's the weirdest thing. It's acting really crazy. Yeah, I noticed that, Deb. It keeps freezing, and then I have to go out and come back in. All right. Let's see. You've been in YouTube, Lori, and other chats changed. Yeah, something's going on. Anyway, I appreciate you all, being patient here. Okay, I see what you're saying. Awesome. So we're good to go. Let's see. Yeah, it's been a crazy day. Okay. So ACB wants to really talk about the Roblox thing. Okay. Well, it's a very concerning thing, isn't it? Okay. Um, Jojo couldn't make it through. Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. Okay. And we're going to talk about that, though. Let's see. What's up, Noe? All right. It's sadistic. Yes. Um, Reboot. What's up, Moonbeam 70s? And look, Moonbeams, yours is behaving properly as well, Moonbeam. Okay. All right. What's up, Noe? Okay. All right. YouTube's doing an experiment. I see. Okay. All right. Wow, wow, wow. It is upsetting. Okay. Let's kick off a little quick talk about that before we go any further. So the Roblox thing. Now here's a problem. I can't show it to you. Right? I can't show it to you. It is so horrible that I cannot show it to you because it's that horrible. But here's the interesting thing. You tell me why it took threatening and pressuring the troll farm for them to cough that video up. Rhetorical question for all of you do-gooders. Why is it that we had to pressure the troll farm and make them stressed out in order for them to cough up that video? Okay. And, in this video, there is a sex crime, right? There's a sex crime. And it's vividly displayed. There's also the making excuses or making light of the fact that the internet is a dangerous place. Okay. Let me see if I can do a thing or two. I don't like doing things on the fly because problems arise, but let's see. Let's see what I can do here. Uh, Let's see. I think I can do this on the fly. Okay, let's do this. Let's say, hmm, sorry, I was not prepared to do this. Let's see. Okay. All right. Now, I think that that gets us to a place where I can then do one of these. Let's see. Hmm. Try again. Jeez. Okay. All right. So let's see. All right. Look at this. I'd like you to look at this. This is just a single screenshot. Okay. So you see Libby is wearing all black here or black and jeans. And then Abby's wearing gray and jeans. Anyhow, it says, I don't think they realize how embarrassing it is to be in middle school with no phone. And Abigail is mocking, saying that her parents said the internet is a bad and scary place. And then they both go on to laugh about it, you know, you know. And it's kind of like a pedo-y uh piece of entertainment. I mean, it's sick. Anyway, ACB is pushing me to go into it. I'm not prepared, so I'm not going to do it. But I plan to do it in a future point. Okay. Um, anyway, but yeah, there's a lot to it. I have a whole thing laid out in a folder, but it wasn't for tonight. But neither here nor there. Okay. So we're done with that. Hey, Heather Brown. Heather Brown 2817 coming in. All right. Um, but like I said, interestingly enough, uh, in possession of Troll Farm the entire time. For 2 years, we've been looking for that, and in possession of Troll Farm the entire time. Only coughed it up when they were threatened. Um, Interesting. Now, let's see. So, 2 hour show tonight, okay? Friday night fights, round 9. Uh, I guess I do have to get one more. Do have to get one more that I wasn't prepared for. Let's see. Another one, let's see, it's called, is it already in here actually? Let's see. Mm. Uh, okay. Come on, Prof. What the hell, dude? All right, so we're looking for. Hmm. I'm gonna tell you, I'm just right. I'm not. I'm not myself tonight. Shit. Okay. Hmm. I'll have to get it. Okay. There we go. Where is it? There it is. Uh, there. All right. Uh, now, all right. So I'm trying to establish some context here because this is difficult, and I'm already off balance with all of the usernames and being late and everything, and then now talking about this video, so I'm all disheveled. So I'm trying to reorient and get back on track here. Uh, so you may remember this, okay? 10 questions for the Mean Girls on the Bridge Guy video leak controversy. Okay. Now, I am trying to set up the context for where we're going tonight, and that goes back to this post here. Let this serve as a foundation for what we'll be talking about. Okay, so I asked the question, what in the world happened with this video? Now, keep in mind, to this day, we don't know a single damn thing about that video, right? We don't know anything about it. Why? Because no one has received from the court anything that they can compare this video to. Keep that in mind. Okay, we're June 27th. So remember that in March, okay, I asked, where did this video come from? And this post right here was basically an elaboration of that. So here are my top 10 questions for the Mean Girls on the Bridge Guy video leak controversy. How did the video from Liberty German's phone extraction get onto the website, and whose hands did it pass through between leaving Baldwin's office and it being posted on the website? Who handed it from Baldwin to the next person? Was it Osbrook, as he claimed? Who passed the video to Luke? Was it Angela, as Osbrook implied? Was it someone else? What really happened without all the sidestepping and sleight of hand? When we mention chain of custody, we mean please detail each and every person's hands the video passed between, all the way from Andy Baldwin's office to its eventual release on the website. Please provide receipts for every single step of the way for all the things that you're claiming. Was there a coordinated plan for the rollout of the video to be set into motion by the posting of the notice of appeal on my case across multiple YouTube channels, i.e., R&M Productions, Criminality, and Andy Kopsa? Who was responsible for this coordinated rollout? Why, during her breaking full Bridge Guy video released live stream, did Angela Sadlowski act as if she had no idea who released the video? No knowledge of its pre-planned release, and no knowledge of who was behind the website, when we now know all of that not to be true. Did Andrew Baldwin knowingly give the quote unquote video to you all with the intent that it be publicly posted on the website? If so, who did he personally give the permission to, and in what format? Text message, email, or phone call? Please provide receipts for this permission if it exists. Why did Mr. Baldwin initially outright deny that the video came from him? And why did he and Jennifer Auger then write a press release condemning you all for the release? Who specifically blackmailed the defense in order to prevent them from publishing the press release they had drafted, condemning you all for the release? And what was the exact nature of that threat to Mr. Baldwin? Why did you all attack those asking reasonable and pertinent questions regarding the video's release? Are any of the basic questions ever going to be addressed about the leaking of this video with direct and honest answers? And you see, this ideation, i.e., a general series of questions about the single most important piece of evidence in the Delphi murders history, the single most important thing, that which made the Delphi murders famous, a worldwide phenomenon, all due to that video. And we asked the very simple question: where'd the video come from? Did you have permission? Prove it. And like most of the questions that I put out there, it wasn't just me asking the question. It was hundreds of people in my comment section, in my live chat, and in my email inbox asking me the questions. So it's funny because such a simple question, especially if you didn't do anything wrong, should not cause any problems, okay, at all. You dropped a nuclear bomb onto the Delphi murders community, the followers, those who you want to care about Rick Allen. You dropped the single most important piece of evidence that's ever existed in this case. Totally irresponsibly, without even a description, nothing clarifying. Your own listeners had the same questions that I had. Oh, did we forget that? Maybe should I dredge up the fucking receipts for that? Do they even still exist in my phone here? Let's see. Is this it? Let's see if I can dig these up. Oh, looky there. Looky there. Still in my StreamYard. Still in my StreamYard. Let's look at a couple of these. This is from the moment the video premiered. Okay. Shaboogies. And it's not a separate recording. Why were they saying the voice recording was separate? Precusant, is this really happening? Free Ricky Bay. I feel like this vid is a fucking gaslight. Lindsay, is this the enhanced version? Precusant, is this really happening? Royal We, my iPhone 13 isn't that clear. Judge Jessica, this is how Becky Patty described the enhanced one. Old Mort, New Mort, this is the enhanced one, I think. Free Ricky Bay, this is not the OG video, in my opinion. Where's Dat Be a Gun? Braun, right, this totally looks and sounds like the Disney version. Precusant, this definitely seems like it's at least stabilized. Classic overthinker. I'm sorry, this is bullshit. Precusant, this is bullshit. Woman doing, what the F? Royal We, can someone ask Bob or Andre if this is the original or edited? I'm so confused, says Judge Jessica. This is so haunting, says Michelle Abbott. Do you see questions being asked by the faithful viewers and followers of RM&M Productions? I asked the same questions. Is this the enhanced version? Why does this look so clear? Why does it almost look upscaled? And you see, if you guys bring yourselves back almost 4 months now, this is what started it all. Okay? This is what started it all. Simple questions. And I find it strange here. I find it strange that to this day, those simple questions still remain unanswered. Still remain unanswered. Not a single answer. Remember, the only answers, the only admissions that even approach nearing answers that have been given by this group are those that I forced by holding the feet to the fire. Remember? It was only after a month of insisting and pressuring and screaming and yelling and cursing that they started to almost drip some admissions that they might have been involved in this entire debacle. It's important. It's important that you understand how important this is. And if you don't understand how important this is, you need to go away. You need to go away. This is very important because ask yourself how important this is. The gravity of this evidence, the bridge guy video from Liberty German's cell phone that the world has never seen. And it's given to the world under these circumstances by these people who refuse to answer any questions at all about it. And the only way we even know that they're in any way involved in it is that I freaked out for 3 months and got them to somewhat admit that they had a hand in it. But not a straight fucking answer from these people. Think about it. Think about it. Not a single fucking answer about releasing the biggest piece of evidence in Delphi murders history. We're nearing 4 months later. Judge hasn't given it, right? Who has received a thumb drive with anything near this? No. But it's funny because such a simple question as to what is this? Where did it come from? How? Did you have permission? Those questions were met with indignation. How dare you ask us? We don't like the way you're asking the questions. And then contract, questions about the fundraiser, and throughout it all, not a single question, not a single reasonable question has been answered by this group of people. And who is this group of people? Well, oddly enough, it's the same group of people going back years. But they engaged upon a 3 months long harassment, slander, and cyber bullying campaign because of the questions. And like I said, I thought that campaign would be winding down by now. But no, the reason that I have to do this show tonight on this subject is because it still continues. And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Now, we're going to cover a lot of bases tonight. But we're going to be starting with all eyes on Delphi. Okay? We're going to be starting with all eyes on Delphi. And it's kind of funny with these people, because these people have learned a little trick. Yeah. They've learned a little trick. So what they've learned how to do is how to disable the transcripts on YouTube. Yeah, they've learned how to turn off the transcript function on YouTube so that I can't get their live streams, pop them in a translation or a transcript software, and pull out the transcript. I've noticed a pattern with these people. All of their streams in which they target us, they turn the transcripts off so we can't go get the transcripts. So unfortunately, they don't realize that old Profi Poo knows how to generate transcripts regardless if you have the transcript function turned off or on. So you guys can stop doing that. I'm going to get the transcripts regardless, and I'm going to criticize them. So just leave them on. I mean, it's kind of a shame that you do that to your viewers because some viewers require closed captioning. So when to try to block the prof from obtaining a transcript of your bullshit, you turn off the closed captioning, you're depriving your viewers who need the closed captioning from consuming your content. So if you really believed in your content and you really believe that you're doing the right thing, you would be caring that those who may be hearing impaired or in some other way have a necessity to read captions, you would be providing them those captions. And I found it additionally funny in that not only have they refused to answer any questions about the BG video and about the contract, they also refuse to answer any questions about the fundraiser from last year. Not only do they refuse to answer the questions that the donors are asking, they gaslight and shame those who ask. Okay? And with all those questions still hanging over that fundraiser, they had the nerve to beg the public for more money so that they can gain transcripts of the trial of Richard Allen to read on their live streams and generate income. And whether they will admit it or not, those transcripts were going to be handed over to them free of charge within the month. But no, they'd rather ask or beg the public for $5,000 and then use that $5,000 of the public's money to go and put in Judge Gull's lap. Judge Friend's Gull's lap. Here's $5,000 that we don't have to give you, but we just would love to give you because we love you so much, Friend Gull. So they begged the public for money, and the public coughed it up under the impression that it was necessary for transcripts when it's not. And they got that $5,000, and now they went and put it in Judge Gull's lap. Just a free $5,000 for your favorite and my favorite judge. Because they couldn't wait an extra 2 weeks. So, I'm going to address a few things because all eyes thought that if she was whispering in a closet and said things quietly and disabled the transcripts, that I would not criticize her words. But I am going to, especially, you're going to see why in a moment. But let me get this. Right. It says, it bothers me when people trying to stain the efforts that were made and the show of force against these actually corrupt officials. Like, why? Who benefits from that? Nobody does. No, 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 no. See, that's conflating the issue. All eyes. This is like saying that because the people on the other side of this, which means Carroll County, Nick McClellan, Francisco, and all of these people, because they're horrible, evil people, that everyone else has to agree with your bullshit moves, with you grifting off the people, with you lying about leaking discovery on a website that you own. You see why these people wanted to hide all of these things? And the fact is, just because we believe that Richard Allen was wrongfully convicted, that the state did not produce evidence, and that there was a whole bag of corruption over in Carroll County, doesn't mean that we have to allow you to do wrong. It's not even helpful to the defendant, who, as far as I had the impression I had, was that we were all on the same page that he was wrongfully convicted. No, we are. See that you're conflating different things. We still get to hold you guys to a certain standard. And actually, we should all be holding each other to a higher standard. But no, you don't hold yourselves to any standard. So I get really frustrated with all that. And I'm really frustrated that now we're trying to raise money for transcripts so that we can give the transcripts to everybody, make them as easy as possible for most people possible to access them themselves. We're going to eliminate all of the hurdles and obstacles for people to look away from what happened with this case. And we're trying to raise money for it. And I think instead of having this widespread effort that you would think everybody could get behind, we have some people who are just throwing hissy fits about it and turning it into something it's not. I don't like that. Well, you know what, All Eyes? We don't like that you're handing $5,000 to the judge that you claim you hate so much. Why? Because you want a 2-week head start on the grift on the live streams? Because everything you're representing in this statement is wrong. The transcripts were going to be given to everybody. Didn't need to be 2 weeks earlier. Okay. Can we go back to the context of what was happening? What if it was your husband or your brother and you're in a fight or a flight situation? Why are we going to turn around and place a greater burden on them to now be transparent about private information that should be his right to have with his attorneys in private? I think it's hard for me to even understand people feeling entitled to that in the first place. It's strange to me that they would think they're the ones in this situation who have been wronged. Like, nobody was forced to donate to this. And I just think everything was as advertised. So this is going into the indignation that people are asking questions about the fundraiser money. Okay. In other words, all you donors, let me break it down for you for the to make it easy. In other words, all you donors, how dare you ask questions? How dare you ask questions about it? And I think what's also hard for me is how many people apparently just throw money at stuff without knowing what it is. But even still, the information about where it was going was on the landing page of the donate, like where to donate. And you had to read through all of it before you could even click the button to then go donate. Like it wasn't like the donate button is first and foremost the information. And so these people who are running around asking these questions, I feel like all they're doing is telling on themselves for not having gone back and read it. But because they made such a big deal about it being all this other stuff, and they created such a shitstorm about it, and now they have to find problems with it because it would be too much for them to admit they threw the whole ass hissy fit over nothing that they said it was. And they're still trying, and it's weird, but I don't feel sorry for them because it's not about them. It's weird that they're trying to make it about them. It's not about any of us. I mean, if you want a refund, ask for one, I guess. I don't know how that works, but I'd prefer they kept their money. But at the same time, it frustrates me because now, anytime we do need to raise money or show support, which in some ways, like, it's a problem. I guess in political circles, that speech or that money is considered speech. But there's a realm where that can be good, where you can show the state, I'm not going to listen to your calls or emails or anything with all the stuff going on. Okay. Normally, I would agree, but I do think the more I've talked to some of them, that they are quite a few imbeciles in this community. And it's just to a point, I'm just done arguing with people who don't want answers they don't like. Like, I don't care. As long as answers add up, that's all I care about. If it adds up, I don't have to like it as long as it adds up. I just want to know what's what. But there are some people who ask a question. If they don't like the answer, they ask a different question or a different way. And they start asking all like it's just like nonstop follow-up questions because they don't actually want an answer. They'll just want the fight. That is really more of what all the stuff with the fundraiser and all that, like all this hysteria around it. Like there's this huge conspiracy plot that does not exist. Like the context of the fundraiser was very upfront. Trial was a month away. Gall had now that we have all these orders, we do see she had not authorized any of the shit they needed. And at that point, they were a month away. Um, Listen, this is not a good faith argument. First of all, saying that the donors should not be asking questions about how their donations were spent and where is the remainder or where are the remainder of their donations. I think those are perfectly reasonable questions. Additionally, saying that we're asking questions and when they get the answer, they don't like the answer, so they ask a bunch of follow-up questions. No, young lady. No. Let's be real here. These questions here have never been answered. Are you expecting us to take Osbrook saying, I got the video, so Angela got it, period? That's supposed to be sufficient? When we're asking about the single most important piece of evidence in the Delphi murders case history, and when we ask questions about that piece of evidence, the reply we're given is, I had it, so Angela got it, period. That's supposed to be sufficient? But she continues. That is the context that this fundraiser was started and conducted in. Nothing more, nothing less. They were having to front costs to pay for things up front. And they didn't even reach their full goal. It was cut off before that because there were fucking weirdos who were creating issues in their mind that were just not real. And even a couple months after the fundraiser, the person who hosted the stream started having a lot of questions that did have answers, but he pretended like we didn't have answers. And there's people who are doing that now. And I can't help them. We've all got the orders. I felt like people who were asking just basic questions deserved an answer. So I took time out of my day to start going through them and break it all down in all different ways that would be helpful for people to search through and look at it as it gets it to, and get as many answers as we could get. And oh, wait, hang on. Sorry. Yeah, the response I got from doing that was thrown under the bus and a target put on my head. I'm actually doing something that I like. The only thing I was doing was trying to find answers. I didn't have those questions, but other people did. And I thought, let's find some answers. If some people want that, let's see how many answers we can get. So I started digging through all of the orders, and I started going back through and coming up through all of the media reports about the fundraiser and going directly to the fundraiser webpage and putting it all in one place so people could look through it and dissect it and break it down in all different ways. And I was accused of doing damage control. That's exactly what you were doing. And all this other dumb shit that was so dumb that I could not respond without ripping this person to fucking shreds for being so fucking dumb, gross, and ridiculous. Those questions do have answers. They just didn't like those answers. No, young lady. No, young lady. See, you were doing damage control because you can't conceive that there might be something wrong. Okay? You can't conceive that there might be a wizard behind the curtain, that there might be a wicked witch of the West, that all is not unicorns and rainbows. Okay? Basically, what you do is anytime there are seriously damning, important questions or criticisms or observations, what you do every single time is you put on your fucking cape and you come caping in like a superhero to provide a quick fucking answer to shut the fucking questions down. And every single time, all eyes, those answers you give are bullshit. And we're going to see some of that tonight, by the way. Okay. It's a personal problem that they have got to deal with on their own because nobody else, they're not entitled to more ants than the answers that have been provided. Let me say that one again, because listen to the fucking bad attitude on this one. You're not entitled. When she says there, she's meaning all of you. She's meaning all of you out there. They're not entitled to more than the answers that have been provided. Look at it. It's the second one. They're not entitled to more than the answers that have been provided. Really? I beg to differ. I beg to differ. I think the public is entitled to a whole bunch of answers that have not been provided. I believe the donors to the fundraiser are entitled to answers to the questions that they have. Those answers have not been provided. I believe the public in general and the family of the victims deserves answers about the video that you released on your website. And honestly, I believe Kathy Allen deserves some answers about why you all have been trying to pressure her into doing what you all believe is best for her. But according to All Eyes on Delphi, You're not entitled to more than's been provided already. And also, uh, if they cannot cope, they should probably seek help. For the record, I will not be taking any questions from those people seriously ever again. That means all of you out there. I will not take any of those people seriously ever again. That means all of us. I thought they were asking honest questions and just basic, just asking questions. Oh, we were. Well, I got you some answers. Turns out that's not what you wanted, clearly. So forgive me if I may never take that person or those people seriously ever again, because I'm not going to make that mistake twice. Okay. It seems to me like more than a grift than anything that happened with the fundraiser. I just don't understand why they are turning it into something it never was and still isn't. Why they're turning, like, even though Prof thrown me under the bus countless times over stuff that I had nothing to do with, nothing at all, he started lumping me in with people he was mad at. Yeah, the mean girls. And I even kept my mouth shut for quite a while. So I'm like, maybe I just caught a straight that wasn't meant for me. He's all worked up. Not a big deal. Hell, he'll figure it out. No, what he did was double down on it. Then he doubled down again, and I'm doubling down again. He did it several times before I even said anything. And even still, after he was a bitch about it, I was still trying to answer people's questions, even though they were coming over to me asking loaded questions that they weren't actually asking. They were asking in a way that insinuated something else. I was still like, you know what? They just don't know what's going on. They heard one thing. They're defensive of someone that they like. I don't have to kumbaya with that person either. None of us should have to kumbaya with assholes. We shouldn't. We just shouldn't. Especially when people clapping back after showing a lot of restraint gets met with screeches of mean girl, mean girl. Nobody's a meaner girl than Prof, period. And I'm done entertaining him or giving him benefits of a doubt. He just wants to be mad, and he wants everybody to be mad at the people he's mad at. I don't want to be any part of that. And the people who do, I'm very glad they have a place to go for that. It's the fix they want every time they're logging in. I hope they enjoy themselves over on his channel, but I'm not going to entertain it because I really don't have the manners for it, and I'm aware of that. But mostly, I don't like, at some point next week, I'm hoping to have more of the whatever I end up updating and coming up with the fun for the fundraiser stream. By the time I get to that point, I'm not even going to acknowledge the dumb shit that people are going to try to turn other stuff into. I'm not doing it. So I'm trying to do a check-in, just at least to touch base with people, where I'm coming from, what I am doing and what I'm not doing, and see, and if people see it differently, that's fine. Not everybody has to take sides. Like, there are some things that are unacceptable, but like, if you need me to say something is acceptable or not, I think that's weird because I'm such a regular nobody. It's weird to me that anybody would want that. But I do understand how sometimes, like, you have to take a stand and all that. But for me, I don't even like to legitimize the dumb shit enough to, like, I don't like to do it because I don't want anybody to think it should even be taken seriously. Granted, like with Greeno, sometimes I do, because for a while, I think we all dismissed him as a goober. But I do think, depending on which side of the episode he's having, he could very well be a real threat. Like, I don't think it's responsible to ignore that. But I also feel that way about Prof sometimes, because he's very, like, there are things that are very real to him, apparently. He seems to really believe them, even if, like, I didn't realize how delusional he was about some stuff until he started throwing me into stuff that I know for a fact I was not involved in and was not doing. So yeah, expecting me to see it as anything other than delusional is delusional. You know, not the uniparty. Oh Lord. In what world is it bad for people who see the outcomes of this case very differently, still being able to be adult, cordial, normal human beings who can, like, reasonable minds can disagree? Like, having meltdowns over it is a red flag in my opinion. But yeah, like there, I try, even if I disagree with people, to be able to still engage. But there are a handful of people in this community who I probably, like, I just don't even leave it open to have a conversation with them because I can't. Like Mark Robert Cohen, Big Solves. Like, there's a few people where I'm just like, I guess now Prof and Adrian. That's probably a handful. I just don't have respect for them. I don't have the manners for them. And they've done very real damage to people in real life and somehow act like victims. They've done harm to people and they've minimized the harm they've done. And I don't like, that's just what I just have, that's where I draw my line. I don't care if other people still like them and get along with them and can have conversations. But I mean, I don't know about you, but I can't say that I've befriended two people that were strangers to me that I met online. And then one of them ended up being in a mental hospital and the other took his own life. To me, that's a red flag, especially when we now know with one of them, in my opinion, it was more of a catfishing thing. He presented himself as wanting to take the prosecution down when that wasn't true at all. And there's something wrong with someone who could do that to another person and lie to them to get information. And then this person is expressing very clearly mental distress for conversations that are spanning days. You see the effort there? Okay. Do you see the effort there to equate me with Greeno? Mm-hmm. And then add Mark Robert Cohen, Big Sauls, and Adrian to the mix. Okay, I see. So Mark Robert Cohen, Greeno, Big Sauls, Prof, and Adrian. Those are the 5 on All Eyes list. You see? Those are the 5. Let's equate us all, okay? Yeah. They've made a lot of excuses for them, and that's not okay. And that's just where I stand on it. But I don't want all this stuff to affect the future of this defendant. I don't want him to be associated with the stupid shit that goes online. Well, he is because of you all. I don't even know this man, but if it was my family, I wouldn't want to be a constant source of the dumbest shit that we've all, like, the past 3 months experienced. I would almost prefer to still be waiting on Jody for that video, because the amount of whining and complaining and deranged dumb shit that we've have endured for the past 3 months, to me, it made none of it worth it. Reality bites you in the ass, doesn't it? Reality bites you in the ass when you come to regret the dumb shit that you've done. And just keep in mind, no one's ever explained a single piece of it, right? I would rather still be waiting because my issue is still with Jody. I can't help that she's not in compliance with public access laws. I'm not going to get mad at other people for not waiting on her. I'm just not. I don't see a problem with that. She is the one, and her court reporter are the one, Gull and her court reporter are the ones, all of these exhibits should have been released a long time ago. The fact that we're still waiting on any of them, let alone this many of them, that's the issue I'm having. And I'm not going to be mad. I don't get mad at any information coming out. We want answers. If that helps us, I'm going to say thank you. I'm not going to throw a hissy fit because I don't like how they did it, or because I think I need a memorandum of motivation for people who are sharing information that is public information, period. Hang on just a second. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Probably something we can all agree to move forward like a normal person, regardless of what happened, because none of the stuff that has happened between any of the people online, none of that actually matters. Yeah, but see, what you're missing there is you're conflating the exhibits from the court with discovery. Okay? I'm also not happy about like smearing the website as some sort of scam to get people's personal information. That's not true. That's not even remotely true. Yes, it is. That's a flat out lie. No, it's not. And for people to run around spreading that flat out lie, I'm done with those people. Done. They are not speaking facts, truth, or reality. And that site was put together to update people. I thought Travis put the website together until sort of recently. Really? Of course, you can't be serious. Travis was talking about how before anybody starts, charging with water guns, let him do some adulting and double checking on things to see, like set up things proper channel wise, all of that. So I assumed the website came up. It's something he put together, and I didn't look into it because I don't. Who does that with any website? Like you do any blog or whatever. Like, do you have their personal information? Like people are allowed to start websites for causes they care about, and it's none of your business. It's none of your business. If you don't like it, don't visit it. And it was a website to update people on next steps if and when updates started, and they're turning it into some sort of like trying to get people's personal, like the only personal information they need is whatever your preferred way to be contacted is for updates and updates. It could be used for all kinds of things that would be very helpful to Richard Allen. No, it was going to be, let's be clear here, it was going to be used to grift. You were going to use all the email addresses to fundraise, endless cycles of fundraising in the name of Richard Allen, which Kathy Allen doesn't want and which no one wants. And it's the reason you tried to put highly magnetic, sensational information in terms of leaks on that website to attract the traffic there, which is why it's important to know who's behind the website, because you leaked discovery. I don't visit websites that I don't trust, and I don't run around telling other people what to like. Dedication to micromanaging whether or not people go visit that website. It's literally just an update site. No, it's a leak site. It just makes so much easier for people who are time poor and don't have time to follow all the live streams or whatever, but they still want to know about major updates on the case. This will do that for them. It's just a convenience thing. It was mostly just to help rally a bunch of people where we could reach all the people who we we where we could update and reach all the people who care about this case. How is anybody turning it into a bad thing? How is anybody turning it into something it's not like? It's pretty standard in all of these high profile cases. So why are we trying to make it some sort of twisted thing in this case? It's crazy to me. But I do think it's possible to just, I don't think it's possible for everybody to ignore it, because some people have been they've just been dogpiled on so many times. So some people might not need longer than others, or might need longer than others to actually ignore it and not be affected by it. That's understandable. But I do think the less we feed it, the better, because the dude is going to crash out at some point. Really? That's your hope? The chat's going to make me fucking start screaming and yelling at the chat. I do think the less we feed it, the better, because the dude is going to crash out at some point. Like there's only so far you can get on issues that you yourself are creating. Sure, I'm the one who lied about the BG release video. I'm the one who's not answering questions about the money that was raised off the backs of the public. I'm the one who's trying to bully Kathy Allen into signing on with a bunch of lawyers she doesn't want to sign on with. Sure. There are people who still really think all that. And I think it's great they have a place to go obsess over it, because then I can just refer them to that place anytime that's what they want to focus on. I can be like, you know what? I don't offer that, but I know a place that does, and you'll probably love it. And I'll be happy to recommend where they can go for that dumb shit. All right. So, why, Prof? Why are you doing this? What? Why are you being mean to all eyes? You're putting a target on her head. No, no, I'm not. You're about to see why. Okay, because what you're going to see is in the past week. Okay, so before you come in my chat bitching about why this is being discussed, open your minds. Now, we almost have to go back down memory lane a bit. We have to think, why would why would why would All Eyes on Delphi leave a bad taste in my mouth? Put it that way. You ever lick a battery? You know, the 9 volts. Is that 9 volts? I forget now. The little rectangular square batteries, whatever. You ever lick one? Thank you, Ninja Warrior Assassin 9871. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the super chat. But I mean, you ever lick the battery, right? Ooh, that taste in your mouth. That's the taste she leaves in my mouth. Now, why? Well, I'll tell you why. Because I noticed a pattern here, and it's a really fucking disturbing pattern. And look, All Eyes, you don't want to be accused of doing narrative control. Well, maybe you shouldn't do narrative control. Because, you know, I'm pretty sensitive to things that people do. All right? And I'm very sensitive to the things that you all do. And I think that you guys don't understand that it's easy to pick up on what you're putting down. All right? For instance, I want to say it's about 6 months ago, I noticed something really fucking strange. Dude, it was really, I would say, the first warning sign from All Eyes on Delphi, right? For me. And that had everything to do with this entire concept of Rick Allen being tipped in before his arrest, right? And the way she responded to that and how she tried to debunk. Okay, so typically this is her modus operandi. She likes to try to debunk, valid claims. And I'm going to show you tonight the first one, okay? Because this is not imaginary world. This is not made up. We didn't invent this. This is real, okay? So this one right here. You see the post says, it's been a minute since we asked for initials of your POI. Initials of your POI. Has anyone's changed? Don Toretti writes RA. R.A. R.A. Okay? When called out on it, she comes in and says, coming in finally, and had some very important work. Now, listen, before I go much further, can you guys please pay attention to the names here? Angie Hopkins, that's Turbo. Okay. The Delphi Dilemma. Angie Hopkins, that's Turbo. Dawn Toretti, that's Dawn Toretti, right? But look at the facts. Here are the facts. As you see down below, what's posted. That's what I just showed you, right? It's been a minute since anyone's asked for initials of your POI, and she puts RA. So here she says, coming in, finally had some very important work that needed to be completed tonight. First, I'm kind of sad so many people took this info from this group and spread it everywhere. I understand the need for information and the need to understand it. I get it. I just wish you guys would have at least asked. Let Angie Hopkins, Turbo, work this, as she will update as she always does. And then look what's highlighted. Look what's highlighted. Okay, second issue. Yes, I did put the initials RA in a group 2 years ago when people were calling out POI's initials. Big deal. Richard Allen looks like the bridge guy. And Jordan allowed me to say that, yes, we worked him. And I'm sure we were not the only ones doing so. I will provide the screenshots. And dear God, I got so many spam messages, I had to turn off my computer. I appreciate you all. Lots of good work in the group. And believe me, all a team effort. Hold on. Hold on. So in 2020, in early 2020, she puts this one. Okay, let me move it back. In early 2020, she types in RA. And then when asked, was that Richard Allen? She says, yes, I did put RA in a group 2 years ago when people were calling out POIs. Big deal. Richard Allen looks like the bridge guy, and Jordan allowed me to say that. Yes, we worked him, and I'm sure we were not the only ones. So then Alex texts her. Look, on April 3rd, Alex says, how did Allen come up on your radar way back when? Was it a local that heard he was on the bridge, or some JC's murmurs got out? And here's her response to Alex. There were some petty crimes in the area, that's all. He looked like BG. Sorry, I did not see you message me. Next time, call me, ass. And she says, his daughter takes off the day after her wedding with his family. Weird honeymoon. Once again, so what really happened? 2020, January, she posts this. RA. 2 years later, she says, yes, I did put RA in a group. Richard Allen looks like bridge guy, and Jordan allowed me to say that, yes, we worked him. And we were not the only ones doing so. Then she says, there were petty crimes in the area, and he looked like BG. So why you trying to debunk this? I mean, listen, she can provide receipts for it, right? Or she can say she's a liar. Why are you trying to make this not true? because I'm showing the receipts of what actually transpired. So I thought that was very odd that you would come swinging so hard to go to bat to debunk that Don Toretti is saying what actually happened here. I put the initials RA, big deal. Richard Allen looks like bridge guy. And Jordan allowed me to say that, yes, we worked him. Then you did another thing. I said that it was wrong that all of you mock Elvis Fields' mental handicap. Let's be honest here. It's just an ethical criticism. Because you all try to act like you're perfect. You all try to act like you don't fat shame. You all try to act like you don't mock the mentally handicapped. You all try to act like you don't judge people's appearances. But you see, in every one of those cases, I've got the receipts that prove you wrong. But it's funny that you came in swinging hard, right? Elvis Fields is undereducated, not retarded. Oh, he works on engines and does all kind of various skilled labor jobs. I don't know why so many people with the penny and a twist about the wrong post because we want to mock mentally handicapped. And then she posts like 40 fucking links, right? Total overkill. No reason to post 40 links under this, but you did it. And anyway, I notice another one of you also trying to justify. What's the deal with trying to justify? What's the deal with trying to make Elvis Fields perfectly capable human being? Like, what's the motivation there? Because this is another one. All right. If Elvis Fields holds a license as is functioning supposedly at the age of a 8 to 10-year-old due to intellectual disability as reported by the state, I have some serious questions in the name of public safety because both of those cannot be true. He also rebuilds complex machinery. Giving a mental age to a person with ID is misleading and meaningless. And in this case, it was simply used to wave away the one person that made a confession that included details the public didn't know until the Franks memo. Listen, Gilletta, you can go ahead, go to case by case, and go get lied to by Amy and go get shown some 8-year-old screenshots that everyone has seen a million times and have already been debunked. Go get your fill of misinformation and conspiracy and your Delphi hit over at case by case if you can't handle what actually matters on this case today. Why do you think I'm covering it, Gilletta? Because it matters today. And you're refusing to see what actually matters on this case. And I just threw this in here for a flavor. This is Michael Osbrook also mocking Elvis Fields. All right. All right. Here's another one. Trust me, we're going through this all systematically. If someone specific is being nonstop recommended to you on Facebook, it's because the algorithm prioritizes and then connects the people you and your devices mutually interact with the most. And the people devices they mutually interact with the most, not because that someone someone has been cyber stalking you. Pro tip, ask a developer instead of your lunatic script kiddie friend next time you want to know how something actually works. Well, smartass, you're wrong. Okay, we did ask. Okay, so this is wrong. But see what this was you coming in again, right? This was you coming in again to try to fact check me and correct the statement I made. Okay? But I'm showing a pattern of your behavior here, All Eyes, since you're the great debunker. You're the great white hope of Delphi, aren't you? I've been busy with priorities and commitments. So I just now got around to this, but it only took me a whole 17 minutes to put the money the defense had to front for experts into a spreadsheet and see how much was left over from the fundraiser after goal authorized reimbursements. No clue why the people such concerned about the fundraiser haven't done it themselves. Oh, we did, which is why we started criticizing it. Considering the court made all defense expenses available on April 11th, 2025. Yeah, it's 100 pages. I have them all. I've read through them all on my channel. Obviously, you didn't know I had done that prior to you making the smart-ass post. And by the way, All Eyes, you made a glaring series of errors in your rushed 17 minutes spreadsheet. Okay? But again, you were playing damage control because you didn't want the questions being asked about that fundraiser. And by the way, we're going to be covering that pretty soon. We're going to be covering those 100 pages. And we're going to be covering some things that you guys don't want mentioned about that fundraiser, not the fundraiser, about the defense reimbursements. You know, in other words, the money. We're going to be talking about the money, since that's what you're trying to shut down, young lady. But it's funny. I wanted to show this because here's Michael Osbrook again. Of course, sharing. You see? Michael Osbrook, of course. This information should have never been released. Oh, as anyone can see, experts were retained by the defense who were not used at trial. Everything about these experts was privileged information. No idea why this information was released. Please don't look at the money, says Osbrook in All Eyes. Please don't look at the money, says Michael Osbrook in All Eyes on Delphi. And we're going even further down the rabbit hole. I'm a nobody special regular ass person with an actual life, which implies that we don't have lives. No, trust me, babe. We have lives too. But I actually care about the systemic issues that plagued this investigation and predictably were led to a wrongful conviction. Yeah, so am I, oddly enough. But there are only so many hours in a day, and I haven't even been able operating at my full capacity in months. My actual life and all the causes I care about are my priorities and mine to prioritize with the time I have. My concern about the systemic issues that plague this case is why I log on to this account. It's the only reason I log into this account. So I've archived the last post, but if you turn me or others not prioritizing parasocial lore into a crusade, you need to act on incessantly instead of simply letting people agree to disagree. I will take time out of my day to prioritize helping you get the fuck a hold of yourselves right quick. Okay. There's a reason I'm sharing this. Oh, dear gods, what? Replace Michael Osbrook with a paralegal with a parasocial relationship. Hey, that word again. With Rick that tries to win arguments by sharing out of context private messages without permission? We are in crazy world. What even is this place? This from a private message to Meow. I mean, what I said. I did mean what I said. However, I have no hard feelings toward anyone, but I keep to myself and seldom watch others' content. But Little Prof gets me every time. YouTube can be brutal. Trust me. I've seen absolutely appalling things from creators occupying this space in the online parasocial Delphi community. Okay. Question here. What's with it with these people and the love of the use of the word parasocial? Parasocial, 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 parasocial. Moving right along. Okay, the bullying stream, the bullying channel, the bullying guy, the bullying video. All eyes, shares, smiles, shares, smiles. I thought we didn't like bullying. Oh, and of course, if anyone wants to pitch in for transcripts, please donate directly to T. Send us your money. If anyone to pitch in, just send the money. Goal $4,600. Looks like we're getting close to the halfway point in the presentation. Okay. I posted this not long ago. Okay, and trust me, all of this is foundational. We have to get through all this. But I posted this not long ago. Kevin Greenlee states, someone with legal access to them recently shared with us a trove of Twitter messages to and from the unraveling. These include messages sent to what they called the due process gang. What was basically a group chat involving attorney Kara Weinecke, attorney Michael Osbrook, YouTuber Bob Mata, internet sleuths Angela Sadlowski, Nicole Miller, and Courtney Parsons. Once again, that's 6 individuals. Kara Weinecke, Michael Osbrook, Bob Mata, Angela Sadlowski, Nicole Miller, Courtney Parsons. Due process gang. And back July of, this was a year ago, okay? Almost a year ago. Michael Osbrook says, y'all are about to hear from everyone's favorite know-nothings murder sheet. A fairy tale they're going to try to construct out of some group Twitter DMs. As with so much about Delphi, their evidence won't prove even plausibly what they will claim it does. Oh, no, it did prove. It did prove. It proved a lot of things about Kara Weinecke, Michael Osbrook, Bob Mata, Angela Sadlowski, Nicole Miller, and Courtney Parsons. But I find it interesting because look at this lady comes in to gaslight. Now, she did this on Twitter. This is when you know they really have a motivation here, an agenda here. She did this verbatim on Twitter and came in the YouTube comments to say the same thing, which was, she said, I find it so interesting how you call grifting raising money for transcripts that will be public while you literally sell merch about 2 murdered girls. I'm sure you will not be using those transcripts that came from grifting and will be spending $4,000+ out your own pocket to make a point, right? Listen, lady, Yes, it is grifting. And let me explain to you how it's grifting. Okay. It's grifting to beg the public for money to the tune of $5,000 when there's already $40,000 that is unaccounted for, that this same exact group begged the public for. Okay. And then you're going to turn around and give that $5,000 to the judge and the assistant of the judge who you hate, who literally caused the man that you so claim you advocate for to be in prison for 130 years. You're going to hand her $5,000, set it right in her lap, so that you can have transcripts 2 weeks early to read on all of your YouTube channels while you collect super chats and add income to the tune of thousands of dollars. So in essence, what you're doing, you're turning the public's $5,000 into a product that you will use for content that will then garner you $5,000. Do you see where I'm going with that? That's the grift. You're taking the public's money to obtain something to roll out as content on your channels, which are monetized and which will return you thousands of dollars, when you could have not begged the public for that money. You could have begged the public to support your channels like I do and send a super chat or hit a like or whatever way your channel wants to support you. You could have let your people support you, and that would have avoided having to hand Judge Gull 5,000 extra bucks that her office doesn't need. And as far as selling merch about two murdered girls, no, ma'am. I don't sell merch about two murdered girls. I sell merch about this channel, okay? And if you knew anything about merch, you know that a 12% profit margin is nothing. Okay, the 12% of your $20 t-shirt does nothing for me, okay? That's $2. The merch is for the viewers. And as you can see, this is her producing that same. I told you how she also did it on Twitter. Isn't it interesting how he calls grifting raising money for transcripts that will be public while he literally sells merch about two murdered girls? I'm sure he will not be using those transcripts that came from grift. You see? You see? Oh, yeah. She really had an agenda with this particular take. All right. Oh, on to another subject. Okay. This is where it gets even. You see, I'm showing you a week's worth of crazy because listen, I literally control these people at this point. If you didn't know it yet, here's what you can be guaranteed of. If I do anything, they will immediately go and just they will have to respond to it. Okay. I made a video called Delphi, a Dose of Reality, in partnership with It's a New Day. What that was so fucking simple, okay? In case you haven't seen it, if you have seen it, good. If you haven't seen it, go watch it after this live. It's on my video section, and it's called A Dose of Reality. And what I did was I literally took an excerpt of Jennifer Auger, okay, speaking. Do you want to hear? No, never mind. It's not worth it. I took the excerpt of Jennifer Auger speaking, saying that the phone, you know what? I'm going to present it just because these people lie so much. I almost have to. Okay, almost have to. Let's see. Sorry, I didn't want to, but now I realize I almost have to. Okay. Let's see. Oh my God. I guess I just have to. Okay. Let's see. Is that it? I think this is it. Let's listen to Jennifer.
So just to confirm, one thing that I'm curious about is Stacey Eldridge. She never physically had Libby's phone, correct, to run those tests.
Correct. So the state, fairly early on in 2017, did a full physical extraction. So that pulls all of the data off the phone, and that's what we used. That's what we sent Stacy, and that's what she used to analyze the data from the phone. So there's software that pulls the data off the phone, and then there's that Celebrite can also parse it out, and you can use other programs to parse that data out too. So, but yes, she never had the phone. At one point, the phone was shipped to, I think, North Carolina, to maybe Border Patrol or Customs to do an extraction because ISP didn't have the software to do it. But other than that, I believe it was at ISP the entire time.
So just to
Okay. Okay. So everybody heard that, right? According to Jennifer Auger, the phone was shipped off to North Carolina to Border Patrol or Customs. But according to Christine Barrow, I'm such a weirdo. Okay? I'm such a weirdo. Such a weirdo, right, Christine? All right, we'll continue. Now it goes into, let's see, Delphi Docs. There's nothing inner. There's nothing inner about this. The man who's been fighting, attacking, smearing, and calling women cunts for over 3 months now is not on anyone's team other than his own. It does not care who gets hurt or damaged in the process. Yes, I have called you a cunt. And no, it's not smacking or smearing, attacking, and all of that fighting. No, it's called demanding the truth and transparency, which for some reason, someone tell me, why is it the defense people now who are refusing to be honest? You've called Nick McClellan and all the troll farm liars. Okay? You've called Nick McClellan and the troll farm liars for months upon months upon months. Over a year, you called other people's liars. Thank you, Jake Brooks. You've called people liars, but you yourselves will not be honest about anything that ever pops up. You just can't be honest. I mean, are we asking you to lie? Or are we asking you to be honest? You're asking for no fighting from a person who was not involved in any of it until this man and his friends decided to drag me in by smearing me with nonsense and calling me an insane cunt. Please don't do that. I have not started any fights. I am not even fighting back. No, you are. But if I see someone repeatedly attacking, smearing, and insulting people like, here's where the truth comes. Kara Weinecke, Michael Osbrook, Angela Sedlowski, Luke Nicholas Cohen, Nicole Miller, Teresa, All Eyes. I'm going to make fun of them because this is my damn account. Oh, it's making sense now. It's making sense. So, in other words, you don't like that people have criticized the due process gang. If you don't like all social media have several handy features that will ensure you don't have to deal with it. You may block, unfollow, scroll past. Good luck with whatever you choose. But if you want no fighting, you're asking the wrong person. Go to the Prof. So see, they don't like someone like Danielle Ortega coming in and being reasonable. Remember, all Danielle said was no inner fighting, please. There are so many big emotions surrounding this case. We got to stay focused on results, not who is more right. Oh, they don't like that talk. Sometimes silence works. We tried for months. It didn't work this time. Sometimes not saying anything functions as silent assent. Prof is now preaching that everyone should be quiet and just go to approved sources, i.e. him and his friends, to receive information on the case. That's not what I fucking said, you dumbass cunt. I never said to stay silent and only come to me for information. You see how people do the straw man arguments to make you look stupid and insane? This is not something any of us can or should assent to. Silence when people on social media are under constant attack also tends to result in these people leaving the environment for their own self-preservation. And this is his ultimate goal. The list above is not exhaustive. Add me, Andy Kopsa, Keith, Shaboogies, Caitlin, Cranks in general. Yeah, dumbasses. He is preaching that everyone who has ever posted on Free Ricky is part of the state-sponsored controlled opposition cult that framed Rick and is trying to bury this case. Yes, I am. Sometimes you shouldn't stay silent. Sometimes you can't. When Zanny left the docks, oh, you mean the royal we? She took her ice drive with her, which lost us half our wiki. Imagine what the fight to free Rick and get justice for the girls would look like is if all of us had left and took our websites, Google Drives, Reddit accounts, YouTube channels with us. You see, there's no reasoning. There's no reasoning with these people. They're not real people. Okay, they're not who they portray themselves as. Okay? Now, this is funny too. This got thrown in the mix. This is out of place, this one, but I'll just handle it while we're here. Okay, I'm not going to come back to it. This one right here is funny because this insane cunt says, okay, my new pet conspiracy theory. The Delphi investigators going back through old tips in September 22 after the Wabash clam jam failure was actually really just them looking up any local SIG 40 owners and cross-referencing the results with anyone they could place near or at the trails or scene. They needed to meet only two criteria. Can place you there. You own the gun we need. If they could check those two things off, congratulations, you are the bridge guy. You know what? R&M Productions? I think I've heard that somewhere before. Let's see. I don't know. Maybe Court of Public Opinion is in here, and he can attest to the fact that him and I discussed it at least for 30 minutes. And not only that, you dumbass, I said it on several live streams that this is my theory. So it's kind of funny that you've all of a sudden decided Prof is right. Still doesn't mean that you've ever told the truth about anything else you've ever done. But you do realize this is my theory, right? That you're stealing. Okay, so I've laid this out before and it can be proven. And I know Court of Public Opinion and I have discussed this at length on the telephone. My theory is actually a little more refined version of the one you've just pulled out of thin air claiming. Okay, my theory is this. What you're saying is right. If you remember correctly, going back through the case, in the initial phases of the ballistics investigation, they had determined that according to their opinion, it was either a Smith & Wesson or a SIG 40 caliber that produced the markings on that round. So What it would mean is they knew that they had to find someone with either a Smith & Wesson 40 caliber or a SIG 40 caliber. My theory, not yours, was that what they did is they figured that they would go to all the FFLs in the counties. Might have been Carroll, might have been a couple counties, but I think in the immediate vicinity, they went to the various FFLs and did something illegal, which is tell us who in the past 5-10 years has bought a 40 caliber Smith & Wesson or SIG. And if they did that by going to several FFLs in the county and in the surrounding counties, they would have an entire list of names. Then all they would have to do is cross-reference that list of names with someone they could place out there at the trails, and they would have their fall guy. I specifically laid out this theory months ago, closer to the time of trial. Did no one hear what I was saying? I know Court of Public Opinion knows, and I know that on some of my live streams, which are recorded and it's absolute proof, it's documented. Okay? Now, additionally, you have to wonder why this bothers me so much. Well, why this bothers me so much is because it's illegal. It's illegal. You know, they're not supposed to be able to do that. There's no gun registry in this country. However, every FFL does keep records going back 10 years. So it's totally feasible that some crooked cops doing some legally questionable activities could go to their best friends, FFLs, go to their buddies, and hey, look, man, like we've done you favors, man. We need a favor, man. We need to know who's bought a 40 caliber SIG or Smith & Wesson in the past 10 years. Go through your records. And I'm telling you, I'm almost absolutely positive that that's what's happened. Because remember, what are the odds that Rick Allen had a 40 caliber handgun? I'm telling you now, that's the most likely scenario at how they landed on Rick Allen, especially if you consider the other factors. What if Don Toretti did tip him in? You know, so they already had him on the radar in that way. What if they did have knowledge that he was there that day, and then they got that third piece of the triangle, which was the fact that they then figured out he owned a 40 caliber. Boom, boom, boom. They connected all the dots. Said, yeah, we're going to put it right on his head. So I think it's a very important point. But I think it's kind of fucking odd that suddenly you come up with this as your conspiracy theory. And moving on to another insane maniac. Okay, I want you guys to look at this very closely. All right, this is Cindy Sheets, right? She's been driving me fucking crazy. Okay, something is wrong with this lady. Look at what she's done here. Why the need to put blood and horror faces on me? Also targeting Erica Morse. Also targeting Erica Morse. Okay. Also misusing ChatGPT. Now, listen to this. Yes, Andrew Baldwin has publicly acknowledged releasing the full Bridge Guy video of the Delphi murders. He stated that he did so to provide transparency and ensure the public has access to the same evidence presented during Richard Allen's trial. Really? You do realize you cannot find ChatGPT making a mistake and present it as fact just because it's ChatGPT saying it, right, Cindy? This never happened, Cindy. This is not true. Never happened. Oh, another funny one, displaying the jealousy and psychosis. Me passenger 33, that's no coincidence, is it? Him being on Substack has just plummeted any sort of credibility I once gave that app for having amazing minds on it. This dude is really grasping at being something important and relevant. He is a 50-year-old, no, I'm not, washed up alcoholic incel. No, I'm not. First of all, how am I alcoholic? How am I 50 years old? And how am I an incel that screams like a toddler, hoping for any sort of attention? This is screaming? It's sad, pathetic, and mostly it's embarrassing. And another idiot, Jamie2872, says now he's asking people to subscribe to his Substack. Yeah, please do. By doing this, he has more access to track, harass, and grift from his subscribers. No, I don't. How in the world does this let me track, harass, and grift from subscribers? All right. And we got another maniac coming in. Thank you, Rebecca. And we got another maniac. Case by case. Let's see these receipts. A private investigator wants to take credit for discovering a crucial video of a white van. Whoever said that? Listen, y'all. Do you see how they make shit up? Like they literally lie. They put words in your mouth. You see, they literally lie and make shit up. A private investigator. Are you saying that's Erica Morse? Since you're all dogpiling on Erica Morse, you like ganging up on Erica. Wants to take credit for discovering a crucial video of a white van, an inmate who reached out in 2017 after the defendant was convicted. Good lousy job. You've got to be kidding me. This dude is a contrarian. Oh no, bitch. Trust me. I will be showing the receipts of exactly what Erica handed right to Michael Osbrook with a pretty fucking bow on it. And that's going to shut you up permanently. And here comes Insane Cindy. It's funny. I don't think he realizes what receipts are. I have all the same screenshots he has. Lol, that he gave to Erica. I got them from the source. That source told me directly that Prof just used his stuff, didn't credit any of it to him, and Prof hasn't done nothing but try to discredit him. Oh, you mean stupid fucking Michael? You mean insane Michael? Psycho Michael who needs medication? I'm not even giving that any more credit. Yeah, you mean Hunting Evil. No, that's not my source, okay? My source are the emails between Erica and Osbrook, dumbass. Oh, here's another one. So see, what they don't understand yet is this first one's a troll farm. So this is, again, Uniparty. So Troll Farm says, is all of the lip smacking due to a substance abuse issues? Girly Pop Tart, another troll, I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, the dry mouth and all the water, says Tippy Hadron Collider. Who knows? He's always belching on camera. So it just might be something else to add to his long list of poor mannerisms. Yes, it's that I've been sick for 3 years. You guys are going to be embarrassed when you find out what I've been dealing with. Who knows? The explosive rage screams uppers. Sure. So I'm on drugs. Okay. Sure. I'm on drugs, and what do the other one say? An alcoholic. An alcoholic. Where is it? I'm a washed up alcoholic 50-year-old on drugs, allegedly. Just imagine Napoleon on steroids. The rage of short humans like myself is bad enough. Throw in a few pharmaceuticals, adoring minions that have been damaged through no fault of their own, navel gazing megalomania. The gods know the variables are endless in the path to toxicity. Okay. And like I said, I'm in total control of these people's social media. Remember, anything I do at any time, anything I post at any time is going to cause them to be reactive. And just like Christine Barrow could not handle the fact that Jennifer Auger mentioned Border Patrol, so same with Luke, Curious Luke. Okay. I have Apophis yesterday rehashing her 2023 claim that she was a murky, secretive federal agent who happened to get a hold of Liberty German cell phone extraction in 2017. I believe Auger misspoke here. The phone wasn't extracted by CBP. That's not what they do. Well, how do you know, dumbass? Wait, so you suddenly are asserting that you know the facts of that? Let's see.
One thing that I'm curious about is Stacey Eldridge. She never physically had Libby's phone, correct, to run those tests?
Correct. So the state, fairly early on in 2017, did a full physical extraction. So that pulls all of the data off the phone, and that's what we used. That's what we sent Stacey, and that's what she used to analyze the data from the phone. So there's software that pulls the data off the phone, and then there's that Celebrite can also parse it out, and you can use other programs to parse that data out too. So, but yes, she never had the phone. At one point, the phone was shipped to, I think, North Carolina, to maybe Border Patrol or Customs to do an extraction because ISP didn't have the software to do it. But other than that, I believe it was at ISP the entire time.
Anyway, Luke further declares the only DHS agency with a facility in North Carolina that does digital forensics besides port of entry forensics on Europeans with memes on their phones is HSI. Maybe they were linked to the investigation via the JTTF or just as a favor for ISP. Why are you motherfuckers trying to narrative control? How do you know that this attorney is not correct? How do you know that she's not spot on, that the phone was sent to either Border Patrol or Customs? She seems to know exactly. She didn't fucking stutter there. But you all, you want to spin, you want to control that narrative? So is Apophis LARPing as a HSI agent, or is she a former HSI agent who was breaking 18 U.S. Code 1905? Either way, I'm sure the Department of Homeland Security would enjoy all those videos with their gay English 80s music and batshit graphics. So, first of all, there's a lot going on here. Why are we so combative with Eye of Apophis? Why are we trying to say that he's a woman? And there's a fucking meow again. There's a fucking meow again. Customs and Border Patrol. Customs and Border Patrol. You mean the people who stamp my passport at the airport? Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? I mean, I'm just asking. Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? Huh? What's the agenda here? What is the agenda here? Remember. All right? Border Patrol, he's such a weirdo. Is Eye of Apophis breaking U.S. Code 1905? Sure, Department of Homeland Security would like to know. Maybe we'll get Eye of Apophis arrested. Of course, I know everything. I am a know-it-all. I know everything. Therefore, not only is Jennifer Auger wrong, but Eye of Apophis is wrong. So Eye of Apophis and Jennifer Auger, total trash. Luke Nicholas Cohen is the expert here. Of course, the mean girls never quit. I woke up this morning piping hot mad that anyone anywhere would try to cast shade or disparagement on our document goddess, Lord, and Savior, All Eyes on Delphi, for check notes, devoting too much of her time, energy, skill set to create an accessible and organized platform for all Richard Allen case documents and information. No, that's why nobody's criticizing her for that. No, R&M Productions, you're a lying, deceitful bitch. No one's criticizing her for doing a website and making documents accessible. We're criticizing her for trying to narrative control or do damage control to the things that we are asserting, which are always backed by receipts. But we have R&M Productions and Luke. See? I can't get over that one either, says Delphi Docs. Oh my God. Who can possibly have a problem with what One Eye does other than people who don't want Rick free and don't want the truth of what happened to the girls to come out? Dumbass, I think that's exactly what we do want. If you come for All Eyes on Delphi, you're coming for truth and justice, so fuck you. True. Also hilarious and beautiful. Smear Pest is my favorite All Eye on Delphi ism, though. Oh my God, Smear Pest is 100. Absolutely. But my personal favorite was dubbing someone who styled themselves Prince of Darkness, the Dork Lord. But does her husband know she talks like this? All right. And moving on to some other dumbasses. Again, the same Christine Barrow who says, oh, no border patrol. Certainly Jennifer Auger is a lying bitch, just like Prof. She also reposts Kate O'Hara's insane ass. Imagine, ladies, a prof-free world. Black Friday, no prof day. Christine Barrow further demonstrating her expertise in the form of cell phone forensics says, the lab the Border Patrol uses for all cases is in Artesia, New Mexico, or Charleston, South Carolina at the FLETC, not North Carolina. So, yeah. We have a whole bunch of fucking experts in border patrol and cell phone forensics, apparently. They're going to tell you exactly how to think. And of course, Luke can never handle a day in life without bullying a woman. Him and HCC apparently love bullying women. It makes them feel like bigger men to beat on smaller women. So apparently, Adrian cannot even say that she's repotting and transferring plants because that's something to mock. Luke's little pussy got all in a twist because Adrian decided she wanted to announce that she's repotting and transferring plants. And then he says, oops, I did a misinformation. I can't tell if it's just a non sequitur spaghetti or schizophrenia. So he's also now, he's diagnosing her with schizophrenia, which if you remember from our last stream, Angela Sedlowski did that as well. So apparently this group thinks that we're all schizophrenics and they are all experts on border patrol and digital forensics. I can't be impersonated. Anything of any real consequence that I communicate to anyone. Example, if I do an expose or if I tell you I'm a Fed, I would sign with a PGP key I made public months ago for a reason. Keep your face clean. It's 0 cents, Luke. And you see curious contrary. See, there, we got a few curiouses. Now listen, you know there's another curious. There's curious chickpea, right? But we got curious Luke, we got curious Dan, and curious chickpea. Oh, I wonder what that's all about. Here we go with some other crazy shit from the Christine Barrow. I'm pretty sure Prof thought he was going to be the first to get the transcripts because of his relationship with the evil Christines of the case. He was going to hoard them and only make them available to him to have an edge. He never thought anyone would actually spend the money. Oh. So now it's a grift. And we are all mean. No, you're a dumbass, lady. First of all, why on earth would Christine or Christy ever have a fucking copy of the transcripts before anyone else? That's not how it works. So no, I didn't think anything about the transcripts in regards to Christine or Christy, but I did think that when the appellate attorneys received them and processed, that they would be available to everyone at the same time. And the only reason I say it's a grift at this point is because you begged the public for $5,000. You're going to hand that $5,000 to Judge Gold for no fucking reason other than to be the first to put them on your live streams and grift more money off the case. Speaking of Kate O'Hare, she likes harassing me in my YouTube comments. But as you know, I have my comments set to strict filtering, so I often get them filtered whereby YouTube protects all my innocent viewers of being exposed to their dumb shit. But here's one of the dumb shit from Kate O'Hare. You really are the dumbest people on the planet, says Kate O'Hare. There are no free transcripts, says Kate O'Hare. The cost is $5.75 for the original transcript, which is paid by the lawyers requesting it. The defense, wrong. After they receive their transcript, copies are available to the public for $1 per page. There are no free transcripts, wrong. T raised the $5,000 to pay for them, and she will be releasing them for everyone to read for fucking free. So instead of coming up with your latest fucking conspiracy theory, you should be kissing Teresa's ass for doing all the work for you again, you fucking trolls. All right. Whew. Okay. Sorry, we'll get back to that momentarily. Jesus Christ, man. Can't make this shit up with these people. Like, there's serious mental illness in the Delphi community. Serious. And speaking of that, we're gonna keep going because hey, let's be real here. There's not just the mean girls. I see ACV comes to bat for the mean girls. Listen, ACV, you're gonna have to understand one day what we're hitting upon, and you may very soon, like maybe Monday or Tuesday. Surely one would not argue about the troll farm, right? Remember the troll farm who threatened to kill me and run me off the internet for 2 or 3 years straight? By the way, where is the troll farm when it comes to Amy? You guys don't find that odd? Look, Amy, case by case, right? You see her presenting all the shit with the Kokomo crew, right? All the receipts, all the fucking methamphetamine, all the alternative things, the questioning of the family, all the things that I thought that they were coming at me for. Question. Where's the troll farm going after Amy? Something doesn't make sense there. What? Troll farm, question. I thought you're not allowed to talk about the methamphetamine or the biker gangs or the weirdos in the family and all that shit. All the shit that we figured, we assumed the troll farm was targeting me for and Noe. Troll farm questions here. Why are you not going after case by case? Because she seems to be doing what I assumed you were coming after me for 2 or 3 years. Are you threatening to kill Amy? Are you trying to run Amy off the internet permanently? Are you trying to take down Amy's channel? Are you doxing Amy? Curious happenings. Hey, Noe, show some fucking respect for the courts. Wear fucking pants. Dude, you don't wear fucking shorts to court. Oh, I forgot you have no respect for the courts. Just shows you're a fucking bum, says Chomo Meister. Erica Morse, quit abusing animals. By the way, Richard Allen did admit to the crime he committed against Abby and Libby. You can't get a better witness than Richard Allen admitting to what he did. Suck it up, Buttercup. And these are the stalkers. These are the stalkers stalking Noe at court. Okay, Noe just went to court a couple days ago, and there they are. There are the stalkers, the troll farm mobile. Okay. Troll farm mobile. Oh, here's another one. Here we go with this insanity. Look, check out the first one. Prof says Kathy doesn't want our help, so we are not allowed to look at a public case. Oh! Okay, guys, question here. Question here, guy. Did I say Kathy doesn't want our help, so we're not allowed to look at a public case? Come on, it's the first one there. This is from Amy's chat as she's hosting All Eyes on Delphi and Michael Osbrook. Here's another gaslight. Look at this one. She totally just pulled a Prof on Amy. They're very transparent. They did this to Angela. Now, who's next on the Free Richard Allen parade? Amy. So who's got the best pro Richard Allen channel right now? Amy. So obviously she must be taken down in their heads. This bitch, this is Christine Barrow, calling Christine, silenced woman, a bitch. This bitch, she's just another amateur sleuther like the rest of us. What did she do? Where is her work product? And if everything is so secret, why are you filling Prof's head with nonsense? Christine Barrow. Erica says, we're tired of being gaslit. We're tired of being lied about. We're tired of being defamed. We're tired of being slandered and libeled just because a bunch of mean girls on YouTube decided they're entitled to information about Delphi to which they're not entitled. You know, you've crossed the line when Christine speaks up because she's the nice one. I can attest to that. You're lucky. I didn't find out about it until after she made the video because I would have not been this kind. Knock it off, Amy. I've had enough, and clearly so has she. By the way, Christine dropped the receipts of said communications on her YouTube community page to prove the host of Case by Case is a damn liar. Oh. Well, what do you mean? Let's look at these. These are what we're talking about. From Crystal. To Christine. Hey, I need Kathy to call me ASAP at my phone number. It's very important. I've got some information that's going to help exonerate Rick. I can't say what it is until I speak with her directly. Can you please have her call me ASAP? Kathy doesn't call people for information. My suggestion would be to call her lawyer and give it to him if you don't want to say what it is yet. Her lawyer is bound by law to keep privileged information private. Just remember that we can't investigate it if we don't know what the lead is. What's his name? Dave Cloutier. He's a friendly guy. I think you'll like him. Thank you. No problem at all. I hope it will help. He's in Indiana? Yes, South Bend, Indiana. Hey, do you know any of this information? If not, can you ask Kathy for this? Go to the bank. Get the February 13, 2017 bank statement. See if he used his card that day, time and place. Access his email account. Sent any emails that day? Did Rick text or call Kathy Allen that day? Does she have her phone from then? Family in Peru, where did they go eat? Proof of paying the bill, time needed to align Rick's timeline. Stock account log, did he make any stocks that day? And can she get proof of it? And or if he logged into the account? Also, can Kathy Allen get the house phone records if they had a house phone? Did Rick use it that day? Any pics of him from 2015? All of your questions have been looked at already and been answered, says Christine. Unfortunately, there's still discovery since it wasn't used at trial. What do you mean there's still discovery since it wasn't used at trial? I assume these were already answered But regardless, I need to know for myself so that I can put the timeline together and prove it. Because what they had to begin with wasn't enough to find him innocent. I understand why you need it. Anything that came to use from the state starts out as discovery. Some of the discovery materials turn into public trial exhibits when it gets used in court. Discovery materials that aren't used are still discovery material, which means they're confidential, especially when they involve my client's activities that day, because it has to remain secret until retrial or post-conviction relief. Hey, does anybody have a question about that particular statement? Discovery materials that aren't used are still discovery material, which means they're confidential, especially when they involve my client's activities that day, because it has to remain secret until retrial or post-conviction relief. So if he went to his mom's, and if I'm not mistaken, his sister and her kids were there that day, surely they can recall what he was driving that day. Surely Kathy's coworkers can recall or something. And if we can determine that, then I can start looking for proof that he didn't even drive the Focus. There's got to be something. Those questions have been asked already, but the answers are just confidential. I would love to tell you his activities and alibi, but I simply can't. Some of the things the public are just going to have to wait on. Can you tell me if they can be used for his appeal? And are the answers going to help him? And if not, I totally understand. The appeal is one step in the process. If he wins the appeal, he'll get a new trial. Well, no, let me correct her on that. If he wins the appeal, he may be remanded for a new trial. That's where it'll be used most likely. And yes, it definitely helps him. All right. Well, that should have been enough, right? That should have been enough, but it wasn't. So what happened is, as far as I recall, this entire situation got brought up negatively on Amy's channel. Maybe Christine in the chat can elaborate. But all I know is between those prior messages, which were text messages, and this Facebook exchange, there were bad feelings. Okay? So, so you see how they're trying, like what's getting to me here is the intense effort to get directly at Kathy Allen. Okay. But here Christine starts this time. Here Christine starts, okay? Christine says, okay, now I'm pissed. Telling Kathy to share confidential information because they deserve it for working so hard is gross. Leave Kathy alone. What are you talking about? Amy's live today. She's pressuring Kathy to come forward and answer all those questions you asked me yesterday. What the fuck does that have to do with me? Oh, all of a sudden, Crystal, why suddenly so mean, Crystal? Crystal, you know exactly what it has to do with you. It will be damaging for Rick for those things to be public. I'm not blaming you. I'm just sharing what was said. And then Crystal tells the truth. Amy asked me to ask Kathy these things because she's trying to help Rick. What she says in her life to Kathy has nothing to do with me. Look, y'all are literally getting mad at people for trying to help Rick, not harm him. No one here is trying to hurt Kathy or Rick. And these are questions that I'm sure Amy had no idea would be damaging. You can't just assume that Amy is asking these questions because she's trying to hurt him. And I can guarantee you, if she thought in any way it would hurt Rick, she wouldn't be doing it. She simply asked me if I could ask Kathy if his mom or sister recalled what he was driving that day. If Kathy had any pics of Rick, because she thinks it'll prove he was a lot smaller in 2017. And if he traded stocks that day. The rest was what I wanted to know. Now you tell me how the fuck anyone would think or know that by asking that it would hurt Rick in any way. Y'all are taking this shit way too far and are hurting the people who are simply trying to help by trying to find answers for Rick. Well, that's the problem, Crystal. The problem is one of cognitive dissonance. You don't understand that by interfering with Rick Allen's post-conviction process, you are causing problems. So maybe understand the way that she framed it. I mean, she told you the first time why it was damaging. I mean, there's got to be an analogy somewhere. There's got to be an analogy. Let me think here. I can't think of a good one other than that thing is, oh, doc, you know, I got this problem. It's like every time I do this, it hurts. Every time I do this, it hurts. And the doctor says, well, stop doing that. I don't know why you're so angry, says calm and balanced Buddhist Christine. But the only way she will know that it's something that should wait for retrial is if someone tells her that. Public opinion isn't going to get Rick out of prison. Evidence will. Do as you please, but just know that some things should be kept private until retrial and post-conviction relief. Again, I don't know why you're so angry, but the only way she'll know that it's something that should wait for retrial is if someone tells her, which is what I just did. It's a shame. Well, I'm angry because Christy accused me of reaching out to her because she thought for some damn reason that Osbrook and Luke sent me. I don't even know who the hell Luke is. I told her that I would never do that shit to anyone. And when I saw that message from you, I thought you were referring to my email I sent Kathy. I emailed her asking for these things. And mind you, it would have never happened had I thought for a second that it would have been damaging. So yeah, I got angry because I thought you were referring to me. And then after what Christy said, and she apologized after realizing she was wrong, I'm a little touchy. I know that has nothing to do with you. I'm just trying to help Rick, and I feel like I'm getting accused of doing things I would absolutely never do. And what do you mean public opinion? Amy is coming close to likely destroying the state's timeline. Oh, no, she ain't, baby. Amy's doing the misinformation, okay? Oh, my God, you guys are, your fucking heads are like, God. The egos are out of control. The ego's out of control, guys. Come on, you're fucking internet sleuther ladies. Let's be real here. The egos are out of control. Oh, my God. Amy is coming close to likely destroying the state's timeline. Oh, my God. Shit. She just wants to get answers to further destroy their timeline so that it can be used to help Rick if need be. Well, that's what happens in the court of law, lady. Not on a YouTube live stream. All right. Amy isn't someone who would just go and share information if she knows it stays private. These are not things that one would think would hurt the case. I'm sorry I got upset, but seriously, I thought you were referring to the email. Huh? Just thought Amy claimed she was just giving her a list of things she could be doing in her downtime. Why ask Crystal to contact Kathy? I can't handle this, man. It's too much. Now, I had no clue about any email, but I can see how you could have thought so. I'm in an awkward position because I can't share what's been created and completed. So it's not like I can save people the time and energy they're spending on some projects. I only assume sometimes that the person on the other end of my conversation can read between the lines. I should be more clear when saying that my hands are tied. It's fine. I'm just here wanting desperately to find something that has been missed. And I don't know Amy that well, but to me, she seems like she wants the same thing. No, that's not what she wants. She wants to make a name for herself and be relevant in the Delphi murders discussion. Okay? And that's a whole difference. Like, come on. We all just need to stop arguing and come together. There ain't no kumbaya for this group, lady. Listen, Crystal, you and Amy could check yourselves, okay? You could realize that you're wrong, and you could come over to this side. Sure. Yeah, Crystal, you're welcome anytime to call me, okay? Amy, you're welcome anytime to come over here and be reasonable. But see, what you all decided to do is immediately side with the mean girls, the due process gang and Luke, not hold them accountable for their interference in the case, the potential leaking of discovery, the potential sidetracking of the defense attorneys in the pretrial lead up and during trial, and the entire group's social media behavior. You refuse to hold any of them accountable, and you decided to side with them. Instead of being reasonable, critical thinking, and coming over to this side and discuss with us what the issues are. And let's be honest, Amy, they're using you. The mean girls are using you because you're the biggest channel they have access to. And what they always do, they get someone where they can go be relevant. Trust me, when Teresa starts reading through ad nauseum these trial transcripts, they're going to all be there. They're in Amy's channel now because that's all they got. Don't be a useful idiot. We just need to come together and stop arguing and all this. And everyone in this is trying to hurt. Not everyone in this is trying to hurt them. But I know not everyone can be trusted. I can't imagine what Kathy is going through. And I'm sure she feels like she can't trust anyone. And so do you and Erica. But know that Amy and I both only want to help. I hate to speak for her, but that's the impression I'm getting from her. and she works day and night on it and asks me to help every now and then. And look, I get it when you say you can't say certain things, but again, these are things that I would have thought that I wouldn't have thought would ever be damaging. At least the questions I asked. Our intentions are good. Just know that. I know your intentions are good. I believe Amy is also trying to help, which is why I ignored it when she talked so poorly of me. I only defend myself when the intention is to cause distrust. The real reason it's dangerous to share is because Rick nor Kathy testified. That means the state doesn't know Rick's activity that day besides what was mentioned in those 2 interviews. They didn't get to keep interviewing Rick because he had a lawyer. Any evidence that proves his location won't be disclosed to the state till much, much later. I didn't know she spoke poorly of you. How much of Rick's whereabouts get released will be up to the attorney asking him on the stand. And honestly, I have no idea of how much of that information they have will actually be used. It's totally fine. She's totally entitled to her opinion of me. Well, I had no idea. I tried not to get caught up with the drama going on with everyone and take sides. I did, however, defend Amy with Prof after she went live with the contract because I felt that like that was my fault. I pushed her into going live and explaining the contract because I told her I bet people are confused by it and don't understand it. And then she got called a cunt by Prof. I was defending her because, again, I knew her intentions were good and I think she thought she was helping, but what has happened beyond that with everyone, I haven't even tried to look into because my only goal is to help and support Rick and Kathy. I send him cards all the time and add money to his books, but he asked me not to. I had no idea she had bad mouth you, etc. By the way, I tried to explain to Amy what you're saying about why this is damaging to Rick, and finally just screenshotted what you sent me so she could see. She's upset, which wasn't my intention, but that's between y'all. No worries. I expect screenshots to circulate anytime. I communicate with anyone, even though they shouldn't. At the end of the day, it's just another example why laymen shouldn't be so deeply involved. That's a burn there. That's a burn. That's a burn. Now listen, here's the thing, dude. Here's the thing. Like I said, Crystal, I don't doubt you. Okay, I don't doubt you. But here's what I think you have to understand, Crystal. People are tampering and interfering to a level which is potentially damaging. And that's all we have been saying. Let me get back to where are my slides? Okay, just a moment. All right, so we got another winner chicken dinner here. Let's continue. This is going to get good, y'all. Tatiana says, where the hell did the notion that the transcripts would ever be released at no cost even spawn from? Every single thing out there was paid for by someone and made publicly available to everyone else. As I said, misinformation is my biggest problem here. Another follower reacting on the same misinformation as presented to them. Without any controversy, Prof has no content, says Cato Hare. End of story. And Kara Weinecke coming in for the win. Here's when they would become free. When they are filed into the docket by the court reporter. That could come when they are done or when Richard Allen's brief has been filed. However, that might not occur for months. Oh, Miss Weineke. Are you saying down here that the transcripts will become free when they are filed into the docket by the court reporter? That's going to be when they're done or when the brief is filed. However, it might be months. Oh, so it looks like the people who want to make me look stupid by claiming that they are free might be wrong. And here's our rich, someone who wants to portray herself as rich. And trust me, I didn't mean to include this in here, but trust me, you're not hearing the last of me on Christine Barrow, but you're about to figure out she ain't rich. Poverty mindset keeps people in belief that money is scarce and should only be spent on the necessary. People in the poverty mindset do not understand the concept of unallocated income that can be spent on whatever you want. Karen Williams says, I'm not following. It's never been said that the transcripts would be free. They're cheaper after the first relief, but I believe not free. I feel bad she's struggling, but what the fuck has that got to do with raising money for transcripts? Did she want donations to her instead? It's a comment on one of Prof's posts. I think they're trying to do anything. I don't think they're trying to do anything. They're just misinformed and upset. I get it and truly sorry for them. They just don't know what they're talking about. It's not really their fault. Well, it is in terms of choosing who to place their trust in, I guess. What I mean is these commenters are not the people who came up with that idea. The community leader told them this was the case in the live they are commenting upon. Prof says, so I gave this some thought about this, and I was not going to condemn it until what recently happened. Here's the thing. Those transcripts were going to be freely available to the general public through the appellate attorneys. So, you know, it's super extra nasty gross that these people right here would give Judge Go $4,500. So you see, it's all good to mock the prof until Carol Weineke, their shero, comes in and corrects them that no, they were going to be free. So, but they were commenting on a Barbie's 3000 comment that says that why in the world would anyone pay nearly $5,000 for something that they would be getting for free if they just patiently wait until the appellate attorneys have them? Do you know what I would not do for $5,000? My son and I are not able to afford to live. I lost my home 17 years 2 years ago. And now we can't even afford rent. Having a fundraiser to buy transcripts that will soon be free does not make any sense to me. Yeah, this is a reasonable person saying that wasting $5,000 and handing it to Judge Gull as a gift is a stupid move when they will be free, according to Carol Weineke. But Christine Barrow poverty shames the lady. She's in poverty herself, Christine Barrow. But she tries to poverty shame to pretend to be rich. That poor lady, Barbie's 3000, who's having trouble like many of us paying rent. I mean, listen, trouble paying rent is an actual thing. Okay. And Delphi Docs, Tatiana, and the whole little crew, Tatiana, Kate O'Hare, Delphi Docs, Christine Barrow, they all think that I'm lying. But yeah, I would like to thank Kara Weineke for the guest appearance here and straightening out our insaniacs. So thanks, Kara. All right, moving on. I'll skip it. All right, now here's another really conscientious post by some victims advocates. Oh, I thought those were Adrian in Light in the Dark or some shit and sketches of Prof and Alex. I thought those were Adrian's sketches of Prof and Alex. You're saying these two lovely sketches don't look like RA? Oh, I thought they were Prof and Alex. Correct, says Luke Nicholas Cohen. Cohen. Same, says HCC. How accurate is that, says Delphi Docs. Do we realize who we're looking at here? Okay. This is funny because remember how I said I'm totally in control of their social media posts? This is one that I intentionally did so that they would express outrage. And bingo! Gotcha, bitch. The prof, you brought me into your post taunting me with things I didn't say, I didn't imply, and I even made sure to provide the link for the entire conversation after letting Bob speak for himself on when he reached out to Kathy and what she had to say regarding the things these people were relaying regarding her sentiments. I have no doubt the bluff will serve me a heaping dose of the word salad, though. Be sure to check that out. Never. I wish you all the best on clenching your butt, though. And I say, look, does your husband know you speak to people on the internet this way? I brought her husband into it just so that they could be baited into selective outrage and woman power. And sure. Oh, please, the bluff. Ask me the same question. I dare you. Okay. Does your husband realize that you talk to people fucking crazy on the internet? Okay. Once again, baited. Totally baited. True Crime Keith and Delphi Docs. Oh my God. Oh God. Baited. Whoops, that one got misfiled there. Okay. Oh, here's another one. Check this one out. Same old fucking group as always. This guy is crazy. He's attacked many of us online for no reason, not to mention all the abuse and lies he spews. Unfortunately, the silent treatment doesn't work with him. Normally, I agree, just ignore it. But he's kept going for 3 months. Meanwhile, Prof speaking to people on the internet. Quit attacking women, says True Crime Keith. Stalker alert, says Scully. You see him? You see him? Yeah. Is it a shame that I've had to try to hold you accountable for 3 to 4 fucking months now and you still haven't told the truth about a single thing that I brought up? Oh, and to close it out. So one of these pussies, HCC, he decided to full on dox Adrian and Alex today for some reason. Okay. The full on dox. So I decided, hey, you know how we'll close out tonight? I'll let Adrian speak for herself because Adrian's a badass and a friend, and so are all of you in the chat. But I wanted Adrian to close it out with this because she posted this earlier. I thought it was worth reading. But no, apparently, like I said, not only did Luke Nicholas Cohen decide that he was going to dox me in these past several months as a retaliation for pointing out the obvious with this group. They decided today to target Adrian. And so I'll let her speak for herself. She says, well, I guess now I'm free to discuss HCC's connections with Greeno's laptop. Ooh, rich. Rich. That's rich. Westerman and the online extracurriculars. Let's not forget about how Howdy had the means to kill another person and himself. Oh, who gave him the gun? Who gave him the gun? Let's see. That's James's coding and technical abilities would allegedly be capable of manipulating a certain Snapchat photo. Who else? What else? Oh yeah. Who's the Freemason interested in occult symbolism and sex magic? And very closely connected with Don Toretti, who attempted to frame Richard Allen 2 years before his arrest. What else? Oh, very close with Angela and Courtney, who were friendly with defense investigator Matthew Hoffman of Carmel, Indiana. By the way, who also, well, I'll leave that for a future point. Who were allegedly trading discovery all over the place in late 2023 through 2024. Ask Murder Sheet. They have the receipts. Oh, yeah, and that same group, this exact same group, the Due Process Gang, the Mean Girls. The Mean Girls. Raised funds for Richard Allen's defense team. For experts, which wasn't all used and can't be fully accounted for to this day. And all those very same people who then got caught up in another alleged discovery leak via the Bridge Guy video in a race for YouTube clout in March 2025. And who also bullied a convicted railroaded man's wife, Richard Allen's wife, with collective online harassment, a pressure campaign, and defamation. Guess who else who can go nuclear? Me. Well, I also have to mention who effed Fig. And sexted nudes to a local Carroll County cop? Look at all the damage you've done. But you thought you were the smartest person to ever grace Delphi with your dumbass presence. Think about that the next time you try to impersonate an intelligence officer. So, Carmel and Fishers, Indiana, a hotbed of power players in the Delphi murders fiasco. Carmel and Fishers. Absolutely factual, Dieter. We'll be learning more about that. Now, I've asked this question to my friends behind the scenes, and I'll ask it publicly here because I think it's a good rhetorical question to end with. Based upon my track record, let me ask you this. Why do you think it is that of all the creators, why is it that I seem to be the center of the target for Troll Farm and the Due Process Gang? I mean, after all, troll farm is prosecution friendly, so to speak. We used to say it that way, but the shills, the shills, the prosecution shills, they were literally working with Doug Carter and Nicholas McClellan and Jerry Holman and Brian Harshman and David Vito. Okay, all the troll farm was working with all these cops to bully, harass, to leak information, to know who to target, and all this shit. Right? That was all troll farm. And it's funny thing though. Look at the Mean Girls. Your due process gang spent years telling you how evil Murder Sheet, Fig Solves, Nicholas McClellan, Francis Gull, Tony Liggett, Toe Blesaby, and all this group was. And you go back now and look at the past 3 to 4 months. Who have they been telling you is the most evil person in Delphi? So if I'm your number one problem, above Nick McClellan, Francis Gull, Toe Blesaby, Fig Solves, and the entire fucking deal, if I'm your number one problem, well, you're really telling me that what I am saying is extremely important, especially when you consider that both sides. I'm troll farm's number one problem, prosecution side number one problem, and I'm defense's number one problem, Mean Girls due process gang's number one problem. For asking questions. And I said before, hey, the funny thing here, you're not allowed to talk about the family at all whatsoever, according to which group? Question, according to which group can you not talk about the family? There's a thread to pull on. According to both groups, you're not allowed to mention the family in any way other than a positive light. Don't question the family. Don't mention them as suspect, as potentially lying, as possibly involved. Seems to be a universal rule. Well, I think that my viewers get it. And you'll get it more because my intention is that I'm thinking Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to do a show. And I highly advise you all to please pay attention to my next show. Okay, even if you don't watch this one, if you're still here, I assume you've watched. But it's the next show will be a really important one, and it's sort of intimidating, but we'll be getting there. Look, I would predict in my own life that I will be leaving the case soon, because I would predict that I'm going to put the final nails in the coffin and there won't be much more to say. So, as I've mentioned at the start of the show, I never set out to attack anyone. This is not about attacks. I simply asked highly pertinent and relevant questions that are contemporaneous with the activities that have been going on in the past months. So it's really fucking weird. It's really fucking weird to me that asking relevant questions about highly concerning or very important matters relevant to the case is so frowned upon. And I think it's really disturbing because it's like I just can't conceive how things could be allowed to escalate to this point. Okay, I really don't. How can things be allowed to escalate to this point when there were only simple questions asked? Okay, so in other words, with this group here, okay, Mean Girls, due process gang. Listen, I asked very simple questions. Where'd the video come from? Who posted the video? Show the permission that you had. Prove where the video came from. Prove you had permission to post it. Prove everything about the release of that video. Nope. They would rather escalate to this point rather than just answer the simple question. Same thing with the fundraiser. Same thing with the contract. Every issue that we've brought up, like I said earlier, why is All Eyes trying to do debunking of things that are important to us? Like, why did Dawn Toretti, blah, blah, blah. Let me show you that again. Okay, she says it here. She says it. She says it to Alex here. Okay? Why would All Eyes come out swinging, over that? Why would she come out swinging over the fundraiser and all the other things? Why is Michael Osbrook still pressuring Kathy Allen on live streams? On his last appearance on Case by Case, he once again brought up the Davis-Hatton procedure as a viable alternative, as a possibility. He also pushed. So did Bob Motta. Why is Bob Motta pushing for this group to be embraced by the Allens when they choose not to? Why is Kara Weinecke, Bob Motta, Michael Osbrook, the entire Mean Girls cult pushing so hard for these people to involve themselves? Their direct help professionally is not wanted. Sure, you're a free human being. You're a person. You can do whatever the hell you want to do in your free time. No one's telling you don't be an internet sleuth. No one's telling you don't do your damn live streams. No one's telling you don't care about Rick Allen. We're not telling you what to do. We're saying stop interfering in the legal case that the parties who matter don't want you interfering in. So I think a lot of you have a lot to think about. And to be honest with you, I'm pretty sure that there have been some ethical violations on the part of all the attorneys involved. Honestly, if you want my my actual bottom line, and I hate to say this, ladies and gentlemen, I hate to say it, I hate to end this way, but I truly do. But you realize that they like to mock the fact that I spent 3 episodes reading through the lawyers' rules of professional conduct in Indiana. They like to mock it, and they frame it as me reading the phone book. Okay, it's a point that they love to mock with. But do you understand that after reading those 170 pages of the rules of professional conduct for lawyers and going through them on these live streams, I am absolutely confident at this point, I am absolutely confident that all the attorneys who touched this case violated the rules of professional conduct. Okay? I'm also pretty fucking confident that Andy and Brad in particular provided ineffective assistance of counsel, which should be useful for Rick Allen on appeal. Okay, if you really want to know, like I think Judge Gold crossed the line. I think that that the defense attorneys provided ineffective assistance, and I think that anything to do with this appeal, I think these appellate attorneys should probably be taking a very, very, very hard look at Judge Gull and at the attorneys, because I am absolutely confident that the entire system failed Richard Allen and Abby and Libby. And hey, I hate to say it because I don't have any ill will towards Baldwin, OJ, and Brad Rozzi. I don't have any ill will to express towards them, but I gotta say, I think that all the attorneys who've touched this case have basically crossed the line, and who knows? They may be disciplined. I would not be surprised if you see disciplinary actions come towards any of these attorneys. I wouldn't be surprised. Okay. Now, that's about all I got. That's about all I got, y'all. I am done. I'm just looking at the last of these. Look, I want to issue or send out a special thanks, okay, to Mark Ellis. Okay. Mark Ellis, thank you so much for the sponsorship tonight. Also, It's a New Day. Thank you so much for the chocolate fund and the renewing your membership. I appreciate having you. It's a New Day. You're like just the best. All right. Also, Dom S., thank you for the super sticker. And also Topher, thank you so much for the super sticker. Ninja Warrior Assassin, thank you so much for the super chat. That's a super chat. Okay. And also Jake Brooks, thank you so much for the super chat or super sticker. And Just James. Hey, what's up, James? Thank you for the renewal of your membership. You've now been a member for a year. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. Now. Okay. That's it. I appreciate everyone for being here. Listen, we did a good live tonight. I didn't want to have to go through any of this, but of course we had to. This was our Friday night's fights, round 9. And hopefully this is the last round. Listen, if you guys want to keep going, I promise you, I'll stick with it until the end. We can keep going and going and going and going. Please don't do it. Let's just let it all be now. Okay? Can we let it be? Thank you, Diana, for the $2 super chat. There you go. All right. I want to thank, who else is in here? I want to say thank you. It's a New Day for the nice words. That's what got me here. The system failing to blatantly and spectacularly, an added insult to injury. The passes LE and state government for their mistakes / cover up. Thank you, Jojo. Thank you, Amy, for saying hello to everyone. All right. Hey, whoa, 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 whoa. What's up, artist? Artist formerly known as Awesome Friday Night Fight, Prof. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Round 9. This was round 9. Okay. It was a tough one. And I'm tired. Never seen such mass blindness as in this case. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. What's up, ACV? Thank you for the super chat. Good live. Appreciate the open discussion from everyone. Thank you, ACV. Hopefully you all enjoyed the chat immensely. I do. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you, Carol. All right. Thank you, Noe. What's up? Thank you, Silenced. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, we'll do another one soon. I'm going to watch Diana's, and I'm tired. My throat is shot now. So I don't think I'll come on, Diana. My throat is shot, but yeah, it was a good one. Thank you, Amy, for the super chat. Love you. Thank you. All right. Whoa. So let me see. We're almost there. If I can get my computer to, this thing's still glitching. Oh, we got 7 out of 10. Can we get to the 10 so we can have fireworks? I'll leave it up for a few more minutes. Maybe we'll get to the 10 and get fireworks. Listen, I want to let everyone know there's only 5 minutes left at the goal. Listen, if you're on a replay, thank you so much for watching the channel and this live in particular. Please leave comments down below. Okay, please leave comments down below on the replay. Please, please, please. If you're on a replay, we don't hear from you unless you leave comments. So please do leave comments. I appreciate those comments. And also, look, you can support me here if you'd like to be a supporter of the channel. You certainly can. Thank you, Diana. Thank you, Don't Say Dumb Stuff. Oh, we're going to make our goal. Listen, you can support the channel here at the Cash App, Coffee for Prof, and also buy me a coffee at the Prof's Crew. And also do this for me. Go to the Substack if you'd like to. Maybe Amy can post that before we get out of here. Go to the Substack and please do me a super, super duper job. And did we make our goal? One more. Thank you so much. Look, we almost made our goal. The Substack, I have some little things I'll be doing there, okay? I have a whole project. I don't want to tell you guys about it. I'll probably introduce it with a write-up when I do my first post. But I'm going to do a first post that's going to totally explain everything. There it is. There it is. Rebecca Ann made it happen. Thank you, Rebecca. Boom. Shakalaka, Rebecca. All right. Heather Brown. Listen, Heather Brown has a GoFundMe or something like that set up. So please also share Heather's thing, you guys. What's up, Heather? We love you. There he is. There she is. Hey, Heather. Anyone want to buy me a life? Zaddy. Thank you, Zaddy. Thank you, Zaddy. Okay. Thank you guys for the super chats. Okay. Prof Substack here at Read the Prof. Okay, Substack, Read the Prof. If you go to Read the Prof at Substack, you'll find me, and I'm going to be doing a lot there. So please go subscribe to the Substack. Okay, again, I'll leave it there. Substack. Well, Shelly, look, you're going to have to, Shelly, you're going to have to understand what's going on. Like I told ACV, it may take some catching up, okay? Because listen, not everything known is publicly available, but it may take some catching up, Shelly. But Shelly, you're always welcome here. We always loved you, but you got to understand what's actually being said and what's going on. Instead of coming scold me, maybe there's others you could go scold, or maybe you could just try to sit back and take it all in for a moment, Shelly. But we do appreciate having you around, Shelly. Um, okay. Okay. Sorry, Shelley. All right. Prayers, Heather. Thank you, Granny D, for the kind words. And there's Heather Brown. Look. All right. Pink Quartz 1111. This case is just beginning. Thank you. I believe so. I believe so. I love y'all to the moon and back. Did you share her fundraiser? ACV says, Prof using me as an example of being wrong. Good night. ACV, you know we love you, though. ACV is the most diplomatic, kind, loving, and smart person. And I just appreciate you so much, ACV, and always have. But yeah, that's it. That's it, y'all. Boom. We got it done. Another Friday night show. Hopefully this has some impact to people. I want all the best for everyone, okay? So God bless you all. And we're going to bring it out with some sage advice from a legendary figure
As an
in
expert
the
in Mickey
Delphi
Mouse,
world.
Yeah, I can say seriously, yeah. Yeah, you're right, Rick. This is some Mickey Mouse bullshit. Thanks, Mickey. Hey, how's Donald? He's still on the stuff. Yeah.
Well, obviously, we have a rapist in Lincoln Park. He's climbing in your windows. He's snatching your people up, trying to rape them. So y'all need to hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband because they're raping everybody out here.
And that is it, okay? Hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your cousin because they're raping everybody out here, all right? So I'll see y'all later. Love y'all. It is what it is, man. Thanks for coming, and it was good to see everyone. We'll be back, okay? I'll be back more often. I'm trying to get over this stuff. I think I'm halfway there. I need a blood work. Blood work is my next level, okay? So blood work next. So God bless you all. ACV, It's a New Day, Heavy Metal Rehab, Heather Brown, Rebecca, Silence Woman, Charles Godwin, Amy, Sweet Dude, Shibby, Pink Quartz. Thank you, by the way, Pink Quartz. Artist formerly known, Don't Say Dumb Stuff, Dirty Diana, Shelly, Sweet Dude Shibby, Zaddy was here, Christina was here, Carol was here. Damn, so many people were here. Like Adrian was here earlier, and Noe Amos, and a whole bunch of people. I want to thank everyone. And if you're here super early, sorry if I missed you, but I'll say good night to you. So anyway, that's it. I'm going to take care of my throat now because it's done. Okay. Hey, showing you receipts for everything, so you can't deny that. Anyway, we're out of here. All right.
Bruh. Bruh.